finally earned it, you know?
What's happening? We are live here, folks. We got, for the audio version people, we have Jack, who is formerly known as Chill Stable Guy, now known as Catholic Convert, was also known as Bipolar Haver for a little bit as well.
If you want to find my profile, just look up Fiona Apple neck tattoo. That'll bring it up easier than anything.
That's such a strong brand. And then we also have Parm. Now don't even need to introduce Parm. He is a regular here pretty much on every stream at this point. And now we have Will, if you're in waiting, and you want to turn your camera off, you can do that. You said you were going to do that, and I can see your face. So if I add you to the stream, your face will be on the stream. Just so you know.
I don't care. I don't care.
Will, how we doing, bud? We got Will. We have our minority Nets fan here that will be ganging up on and making fun of.
Yes, 8%, because there's 12 of us, so I'm 8% of all Nets fans. So, yeah, I'm going to convince myself that Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton are going to work in a postseason setting, and that starts tonight.
Let's go. We've never been down that path before, where we've had to talk ourselves into, Ben Simmons and a backup level center that everyone loves for some reason.
Oh, we're off to a great start. It is being blacked out on NBA TV, and the Nets are on the Yankee channel, and so I can't watch it on television. So let's try to find a plan B.
Let's go. Please do not.
The funniest channel, by the way, of for any coverage of any sport is the Nets Yes broadcast, because everyone hates their fucking job. Not a single person wants to be there. It's so funny every single time.
I thought Zach Lowe said Ian isn't that Ian Eagle?
Yeah, Ian Eagle's love.
Ian Eagle. Every time they go to a courtside person, it's like someone who desperately wanted to be covering the Yankees and aren't.
Well, that's the best video of when it cuts to the studio during Sixers games. What's her name?
Amy Fadul.
Who was drinking a Mad Dog on TV the one time.
When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, Amy Fadul, she was wasted.
By the time you're drinking malt liquor on television, you really don't care about your job. The Sixers are going fast and loose over there.
Yeah, I know I've brought this up on a stream before, maybe a podcast. Amy Fadul has definitely, I don't know if it was on accident or whatever, but I'm fairly certain at least multiple times she has said things that I've tweeted almost word for word on the air. And I'm like, she doesn't even follow me. So unless she, Amy, if you're watching this and you're on a burner, just give me credit. Just tag me or something. I feel like I should get at least a ghostwriting credit on the post-game show at this point.
Because it's her and that leprechaun looking man.
Yeah, Jim Lynam.
Jim Lynam,
who fucking is always looking crazy. I swear, I think the people that do his makeup and outfits have to hate his guts 20 times more than Meghan McCain. 20 times more at least. He always looks like dog shit.
Yeah, he looks like he kind of looks like he just stepped out of a tanning booth and had a very bad experience.
Did you just see the graphic on NBA TV right now? It's the April 24th, woke up with sore back.
Good start. I saw him pregame shooting, which is a very interesting sign. Are we going to over-under on the Ben Simmons 3-point attempts tonight?
He takes one.
I think,
he takes one.
I don't think so. I think it's very quickly going to become the Cam Thomas, Edward Sumner show, and the two of them is fighting, but who gets to take the last shot?
Which is really what we're here for. Yeah,
here's the question. What happens if Ben is wide open in the corner and KD throws it to him? Because he has to take it. If you're Ben Simmons right there, you can't not take it.
Well,
that's my prediction. Is that he gets exactly one of those, he does it, then he does the most hacky Steph Curry, and then and then doesn't shoot for the rest of the fucking game. Every other time he has to do that, he'll just pass out to keep the percentage at 100.
If you remember correctly, the first time Ben Simmons ever shot a 3 on an NBA court that was not a heave, It was literally against the Guangdong Tigers.
Yeah, I knew it was a non-NBA team. I didn't know which one.
Yeah, it was literally against the team that everyone always makes fun of people for saying they're going to play on them soon. So
it's a team better
than the Adelaide 36ers
yeah,
or the Phoenix Suns.
A team better than whoever the Suns lost to last night.
Yeah, I probably already pronounced that name wrong, but
did the Suns lose to an Australian team?
Yes.
I watched the highlights, and Ayton, I mean, it's preseason, so I don't know, but like Ayton defense, not looking so hot. He did not look super enthused to be there, which is very off-brand for him because this whole offseason was totally chill.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say that the fact that the Suns bench was the ones that were getting torched does not make it any better to me because for two reasons. One, the Suns starters broke even. They were like a +1. Everyone was like, oh, it was just the bench. And I'm like, how were the starters with 3 all-star level talents, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, only a +1 or +2 against the 36ers, and then the bench was getting their fucking ass kicked. I just want to say for Sixers fans, and I know I've brought this up before, and Will, you can relate to this too because you're a Nets fan. The fact that people bitched so much about Landry Shamet being... Oh,
I was going to make a Shamet joke.
He is horrendous. He's not an NBA player anymore.
You're such a hater. You hate the Landroid.
My brother
hate the Landroid so much.
So bad. He's like I literally would rather have Furkan Korkmaz than him.
My brother, who's like not like us, he's like a normal person NBA fan. We were at the like amazing Durant game, Nets Bucks, where he scored like 50, and he still thinks Shamet is good because Shamet was the only guy who dribbled that game and made 2 big shots in the fourth quarter. And so my brother to this day is like, why'd they give up Shamet? That was the problem last year.
Well, I wrote his Wikipedia article, right?
You wrote Shamet's Wikipedia article when he was a rookie on the Sixers?
Yeah, when he was drafted, I wrote his Wikipedia article because it was a stub, and I was like, "It's the Landroid, baby! Like he's gotta have the links, you know." So I just linked him. I linked him to all the various things he needed to be linked to.
You are the sickest person alive. It's truly unbelievable.
I was looking at the list of Wichita State shockers in the NBA. He wasn't on it, and then I was
Fred Van Fleet,
New York basketball legend Anthony Early.
Cleanthony Early, Ron Baker, Fred Van Fleet. Who else went to Wichita State? Yeah.
That's the only one.
Yeah, everyone
that's
except
pretty much it.
Well, the problem with Landry Shamet and Cleanthony Early, Bill Simmons' favorite from that draft, was the fact that they didn't bet on themselves. And Fred Van Fleet bet on himself, and look where it got him.
But like Nerlens bet on himself. Look where
it didn't turn out great.
Him.
But he did rebound. He did recoup some of his career earnings. If you look at the contract he turned down, I think since then he's made, what did he turn down? Like a $44 million extension or something?
More.
No, it was
the one recently or the Mavericks? Like 470, I thought.
470,
470, 480.
Yeah, he didn't make that back.
It was
Yeah,
I'm
he didn't
still
make that much.
Pilled.
He did get a free hot dog, but that was.
I mean, you like Nick Claxton, of course. You're Nerlens pilled.
I'm very Nick Claxton pilled. It's really. I have a Nick Claxton jersey. I had to get it custom made because they didn't sell them.
Nick Claxton, that's amazing. Nick Claxton is for people that listen to 7 podcasts every week. That's
yes, dude. His 538 Raptor
guy to get a jersey of, knowing that he's going to be one of like 6 players that gets traded for Harrison Barnes this year at the deadline.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the move for the Nets. Although I Will knows this. I think the Nets should trade. I'm not sure that Jay Crowder is the guy, but I do think that if you have the opportunity to move Seth, who I think is the most expendable of all of the guys, but we have to see the Nets offense first. Because if the Nets offense is just like unstoppable with all the shooting, then maybe you're like, all right, we'll just hold on to Seth and hope that our offense can carry us. But if it isn't, then trading for like Harrison Barnes or Miles Turner or Jake Crowder or someone like that, Seth becomes the most tradable guy there because he's on an expiring contract. He probably can't play in the playoffs in a backcourt with Kyrie Irving and Patty Mills defensively. That's going to struggle, especially because the Nets really only defensive wingy type guy is Ben Simmons. I guess
I will not stand for this Kessler Edwards erasure.
Well, look, I actually kind of got him back. I kind of like Kessler Edwards.
He's the only rookie from last year I care about. The other two guys suck.
But yeah, the time Durant had to like try on defense because he's still like
a finals in 2019.
But he guarded Tatum even last year for the first
in the playoffs. He can still be like a good.
No, yeah, they switched it to Bruce Brown, and I don't know how he did it. He's just he's got so much dog in him. He could guard a guy 6 inches taller than him, and it kind of worked.
Okay, so we have a theory. All right, the game's about to start. The game's about to start, but I have to say something. Someone had a theory. I believe it was his handle is literally Zaire Wade on Twitter. But he had a theory that in order to guard up, you have to be like at least 10% psychotic. PJ Tucker, Marcus Smart, Patrick Beverly, Bruce Brown. Like you have to be a little bit psychotic. Draymond. Yeah, to think that you can guard someone 7. Who'd you say?
I said Alvarado.
Yeah, Alvarado's. Yeah, he's got that dog in him.
Definitely crazy.
What's your definition though? Because there's a lot of different types of psychosis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, game has
Joe
started.
Harris, air ball. Great start, baby.
Oh, wow.
Like, you define Matisse not wearing shoes on the New York City subway to be psychotic enough? Is that sufficient for him to be able to guard a 4?
Sorry, I got distracted because Maxey has the ball. And he pull up 3, and it's good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Also, they tried to switch Ben onto Maxey immediately to get him post opportunities, and Joe Harris airballed that 3.
This Justin, professional
I didn't want to ruin the
James, humble podcast guest for not being able to afford League Pass. More at 11.
I don't have League Pass. I have. I actually do have League Pass. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know. I'm watching some shit that's probably broadcast from Estonia right now, and we're only 20 seconds into the game.
My stream hasn't gotten to the game yet.
Oh, good start!
I'm the furthest ahead.
So I'm working on that right now.
It's a great start for Trill. It's a great start for Trill.
Well, Maxey is out shooting Kevin Durant if we're keeping score.
So Maxey Durant straight up.
Maxey, hey, look, I argued it on the podcast and I basically got death threats. I saw someone earlier say on Twitter, someone who has me blocked, but I can see it from another account that said that they didn't like me because I was too low on Tyrese Maxey. And I was like, what?
You're not pilled.
I literally made shirts that say to Maxey better sadly.
You have to make a shirt that says Maxey best sadly, I guess. You have to go to the ultimate conclusion.
Yeah, exactly. The highest level of compliment possibly.
All right. Well, the Nets suck, so I'm done with the season.
As you're wearing a Mets hoodie right now.
Oh yeah.
I don't even follow.
I always support my poverty franchises. A guy in a deli screamed at me today for like 2 minutes straight about the Mets.
Nice.
It was like a 70-year-old man, and I could barely understand him. And I don't think he wanted me to reply. He just wanted somebody to vent to.
I appreciate that level of psycho, even though I'm not a baseball fan. I have
those in the playoffs. They'll play tonight, right?
If the Phillies win the playoffs, I have learned.
Yeah, but they're poverty.
Oh, they're hiding Durant on Thibault, by the way, defensively. Although he probably for help defense reasons.
Wait, does that make you an across-the-board Ets guy?
No, I'm more of a Giants guy, but I'm not a huge NFL dude.
Because that's a rare type of individual.
Well, yeah, because there's no Nets fans
that's
at all.
abysmal.
I mean,
that's a sick way to live.
Oh, it's not good. I got bullied in elementary school one time when the Mets did something extra stupid, because I grew up around all Yankee fans because it's mostly like Long Island kids who do Mets.
Castillo dropping the ball on his head?
It is Castillo dropping the ball on his head. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I watch that highlight once every 2 months.
Oh, look, Kyrie Irving's in this game. Over under games played for him. I'll say 35.5.
Is he allowed entrance into Canada?
Yes.
I think recently, yes, now.
As of like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, Kyrie can play in Toronto again.
Let's go. International incident, Kyrie Irving. Ben Simmons had a dunk, by the way. He's back.
speaking of the Toronto Piranhas, because that's what I refer to them as, because their fans are all piranhas.
Yes, please bring this up.
So I think we need to discuss, well, because it was Kyrie, so I think it'd be a fun bit. Like, who is the worst player on the Raptors that they wouldn't trade for Kyrie? Because there's also a ridiculous trade proposal that I wanted to bring up.
Well, it's the worst player on the team. So are we talking long term or are we talking right now? Because right now it would be Precious Achiuwa. Long term, it's probably Gary Trent Jr., I guess. I think that they would trade a large amount of players on their team because they know that their bench sucks deep down.
I think Delano Banton is a great choice in the comments.
Parm?
My favorite Raptor.
The thing I was referring to was this thing went viral on Twitter, and a Raptors fan, it's like a fan made trade, and it's OG, Trent, Malachi Flynn, who's not a real player, and 2 pick swaps for Shea. Just 2 swaps, 23-25, no actual picks. And the top reply says, fuck no, that's a top 10 player package.
Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, and 2 swaps was the package for a top 10 player. So you could get Jason Tatum for that. You could get Kevin Durant for that.
Are we sure OG Anunoby can't be as good as? I mean, just him alone.
You also buried the lead a little bit here. That guy's handle was OG is Kawhi.
I didn't even notice that part.
It was amazing.
No, the reason I refer to them exclusively as piranhas is because you can literally have like 5 followers on Twitter. And if you say something like, I don't know, I think Scotty Barnes might be a little overhyped, like 20 Raptors fans will be in your mention, just like eviscerating you.
I saw a guy
find everything.
I saw a guy say on Twitter like a day or 2 ago, he said that Scotty Barnes is not an on-ball stopper. Like he doesn't think he's like going to be like a lockdown guy, right? Wait, did Nick Claxton just? Oh no, okay, someone else is in. I was like, did Nick Claxton just make a 3? He's not like a switchable on-ball guy, and I was like, you're the bravest man alive for tweeting this. Wow, Matisse hit a 3 in my owning me, absolutely owning me. By the way, people were destroying me on Twitter. And then he dribbled it off his foot.
That was Defensive Player of the Year, Ben Simmons. Excuse me. He's coming for that award.
Did you see the replay? Matisse just lost the handle. Ben did literally nothing.
I know. I know, but that's like I don't understand. Like, he's gonna guard the best team's wing every night, but also play center.
Yep.
Like
he just dribbled it off his foot.
Well, he's gonna guard the best player, play center, and also be the point guard on offense. So I think
they have a better chance. Like, I genuinely think. Like, I know I said in the beginning, like, I'm going to trick myself. I don't think I can work in the playoffs. I think you can get away with Ben and Claxton in regular season games. If the other 3 guys are like Durant, Harris, Kyrie.
That's your best lineup, I think. Yeah. I think what your starters were tonight is your best lineup. Yeah. But when you get to the playoffs, having 2 non-shooters against an elite defense.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like,
unless you figure out like some warrior shit. But then again, they have Steph, who's the best off-ball player of all time. So,
and I just like. They feel aggressively a guy short. Like we're down so horrendous. I got into an argument the other day about this is real. Shemezi Metu versus Naz Reid, who would be a better target?
Parm is literally
talking to someone who watches extensive of both. Love Shemezi Metu, love Naz Reid. Watching both heavily. Watching both heavily on YouTube at 3 a.m. So what do you need to know? What do you need to ask?
Okay, no, but Metu, like, I'm really Metu pilled because I got a friend who's a Kings fan, and it started as a bit, but it's like not really a bit anymore. And he has his like sicko nerd stats, like B-ball index, are like really good. And like theoretically, as like a bench 5 next to like a Ben plus shooters lineup, it like makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. Like basically doing what Jeff Green did, but
yeah. I started liking the Kings ironically in 2017, and now I watch 50 plus games of theirs a year.
So the Kings are better than the Lakers. I
believe
that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So like, if they're in the play-in, they're not going to trade anybody who's going to help them get there. That's the thing with the Kings. Like 9 seed is like a huge victory.
But like, it's the Kings, so like, I don't think you could put anything off the table ever. Like they traded fucking Halliburton. Kirsten is allowed on this, right? I think I don't know.
You kidding me? Come on now.
That rocks.
I watched these drunk.
I got to see Halliburton twice last year, once on the Kings and once on the Pacers, I think. And I did not like watching him play the Sixers because the Sixers are very bad at defending guys like Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton
I was at that game.
I remember there was a vicious RIP, the original Ball Discord. It was a vicious argument in there because we were like, so Matt Halliburton's definitely off the table for Ben now, right? Because we were like, he just scored like 35 points and almost single-handedly beat our team. They're not going to trade him for a guy who hasn't played basketball all year. What stupid organization would trade for like, no offense, but like a fake all-star, basically, who hasn't even played.
You would trade that guy who just scored 35 points for a former Soviet nepotism son in 2022?
God, the
Kings are so...
Right before the Harden trade, like the bottom end, when we were like really down bad to get off Simmons, I remember suggesting Hayward and Bridges.
Well, honestly, you're canceled because you didn't see into Miles Bridges' future. First off.
But I was like, give me like 2 picks, Bridges and Hayward. Boom, we're talking.
Okay, so that actually isn't even the worst one. We almost talked ourselves into Brogdon, LeVert, and a first, and Brogdon just went for a late first and a bunch of nothing.
LeVert sucks. I want to be real. I always hated Brogdon.
I almost talked myself into it.
Is this the iconic Instagram trade where it was like Simmons and Maxey and 2 first-round picks for just Brogdon and LeVert?
It was like Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant was going to the Lakers, and for some reason he was the photo on the trade thing, even though like 5 players better than him were involved in the trade.
I hate the Lakers, by the way. I think Portland sucks. I think they're like the 10th seed, and like they traded away picks, and like they took Shaden Sharp, who's like he's imaginary. Like what the fuck are they doing?
You have to be low on a West team this year because the West is just so fucking deep. And Portland feels like a right candidate.
You could be really high on a Justice Winslow comeback.
Hey, if they just put him at point guard, like for those 20 games 6 years ago with the Heat,
Bullshit tried to tell you.
Wait, if the Nets just need like a guy with size who can spread the floor, Dragon Bender, he's right there. He's
available. Yeah. Future Kristaps Porzingis without the injury.
What if I told you the EuroLeague MVP this year was Georgios Papagiannis? What if I told you? What if I told you Kings legend Georgios Papagiannis is an MVP?
Oh, the
desperation catch and shoot.
My desperation for a stretch big. It's gotten like I was actively disappointed when Gorky Jang got signed to like the Spurs or whatever, right? Like
Maxey beating Ben off the dribble is the happiest I'm gonna be for like the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Durant shots off. The Nets are washed. Okay, so the Sixers. Maxey learned how to grift, and he's literally just walking by guys and just threw an oop to Paul Reed and beat Ben Simmons off the dribble. This is literally I'm crying tears of joy if you're listening. So you know.
Sometimes I'm like, why does Trill love Maxey so much? But like when I think about it,
he's such a joy.
He saved the franchise. Like they would be so fucked if he wasn't really good.
Melton, let's go, dude. Listen, no, seriously. Maxey, this is why I love Maxey so much. Will, imagine having to watch guys who forget how to shoot, who have no creativity off the bounce, who really don't play basketball with any ounce of joy or like fun, and then you get the happiest player in the league who can do all those things.
And Maxey just hit a mid-range shot.
He just like went from like a non-shooter to like an elite shooter in 3 months. It's such bullshit.
Well, Ben Pfeiffer tried to tell me forever He was always he is looking incredible, right? He cannot miss.
Maxey, when Maxey's just like if Maxey can start creating mid-range shots, that's like all he needs to do. He's a good catch and shoot 3-point shooter. He can be like a little Carmelo Anthony, and then he can get to the rim. What more do you want?
He's efficient at the rim. He can attack closeouts probably better than any guard in the NBA. He is an elite. He's become an elite 3-point shooter. But once again, Ben, who's been on the podcast multiple times, people have heard this. He was like, there aren't players that have elite floater packages and free throw numbers that don't become and have like a variety of shots they can make around the rim outside that don't become good 3-point shooters. Like it just doesn't happen. Like the best example you could think of is probably Dennis Schroeder. And Dennis Schroeder is not as good of a in floaters and finishing as Maxey, but he's a good free throw shooter and he's a decent floater shooter. Like he's okay at that, and he never became a 3-point shooter. But the large majority of guys that have that, like LaMelo and Maxey were the two guys in that draft that had that exact package, and they're both going to be elite shooters.
So Cam Thomas 40% from 3 this year is what I'm hearing.
I actually am a little bit higher on Cam Thomas than some of the haters are. I don't believe
I'm very low on Thomas.
Okay,
his shot is so weird.
His shot is weird, but he has
good form.
He has elite touch, and he's very good at creating for himself. I don't think he's going to be much better than like a Jordan Clarkson type, maybe a little bit better than a Jordan Clarkson type, but I don't think like he's as bad as the analytics say he was the worst player in the NBA last year, and I just don't believe that.
Yeah, but like
that's the 97th best shooting guard in the world.
All the young guard stars. Yeah, because like
Isaiah Joe
is an unconscious shooter.
Look, Joe is untouchable.
He just missed
Aren't
another
they cutting
3.
Joe?
They might, but it's probably going to be Trevlin Queen. Oh no, that was.
When are they going to update that man's weight to a non-scary number?
I
want to know.
It wasn't Isaiah Joe. It was DeAnthony Melton. I was like,
oh yeah, we got to make
in general. I just want to know when they're going to stop saying that this guy's like 157 pounds and 6'5". Like,
I don't think
terrifying to me to think about.
How are you left?
He's
Isaiah Joe's official weight 165.
There's no way.
You're cute.
I know Durant and Giannis are both listed at 6'11", 240. Which like it's
they're the same. Yeah. They're the same weight,
same exact build.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
But okay, said in the comments, we got to make fun of Tyler Herro.
Yes, good point. Tyler Herro got paid $130. We might have to pay Maxey $260. I just want to go back to Maxey's rookie year when I got clowned for saying Maxey was a better prospect than Herro, and just do a little bit of a victory lap. Maxey is going to get a full max if he continues to play the way that he has shown. Like. When Jamal Murray got that max, people were like, I don't know. But now we're like, if Jamal Murray is what he was before the injury, I think that's a fine max. Also, and that's like what Maxey has been through his first few seasons. Honestly, he's been arguably just last year. He was better than Murray was at his age, at least the same level, I would say.
And he's only going to get the rookie extension max. It's not like he's getting like a full max. Like I am not worried about paying Tyrese Maxey if he stays
30 million, whatever. But that's the thing is that Herro got what 32 on average if he hits his
that's like the high end
32 and a half, I think. Yeah, because they're paying him and Duncan 50 together.
Oof.
Duncan
year.
Robinson is oh my god, what the fuck?
Duncan's at 18.
That's is that the worst contract in the NBA? Because like.
No, it's
the Russ isn't expiring. I don't think it can be Russ anymore.
Well, someone pull up Basketball Reference and tell me some bad contracts, because I think Duncan Robinson, if he's not in a rotation, he's making $18 million a year. It's
$18 million for a guy who can't play.
Vooch.
All right, let's look at this list.
Vooch has 1 year left.
77th best center in the league.
But again, isn't that an expiring too?
Yeah.
I don't think an expiring contract can be the worst contract in the NBA.
Is Tobias at $40 million worse?
Jalen Brunson probably up there now.
Tobias is a good starter for a good team.
So he's like a $25 million a year player. Yeah.
So he's like
overpaid,
15 overpaid.
But it's fine. Because
Robinson is 18
his rights.
Because you couldn't win a fight with his dad. I understand. You can't. How could you tell him that his son is not worth that money? Come on.
I am a super RJ Barrett hater, so for me that's pretty high up there. But he has at least upside, and you're just betting on that.
Isaiah Joe, preseason Isaiah Joe is the greatest shooter since Steph. But yeah, I don't. Here's the thing with RJ. I look at RJ the same way I look at when Wiggins signed his contract, where like it looks really bad, but by the end of it, I could see it being fine. Like
dark horse candidate.
I didn't know this at the time that Wiggins signed his contract. I thought it was terrible, but
yeah, and like everybody says that, like, oh, like he just needs to go to like a better situation where he can be like a fourth option. But like Wiggins' best thing is that he's like one of the best wing athletes in the league. RJ's just not that at all.
Yeah,
like what is he good at? My hater take has been he's Evan Turner with elite marketing.
Kristaps has 2 years left at 35 mil apiece.
That's a good one.
That's pretty bad.
He sucks.
But
he's really bad.
But when he does play and he's healthy, he never is healthy. Like he
sucks.
I actually think healthy. He's giving you 20 points and playing no defense at all.
I mean, his rim
and he's not efficient.
He's the white Hassan Whiteside. He's just Caucasian Hassan Whiteside. He just like stands outside, like 5-6 feet outside the paint. Goes, block opportunity, and then runs and throws his fucking hand up. Like he doesn't actually play the defense.
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside is cool though.
But why is Whiteside unemployed? Blake Griffin got a job, and Whiteside is way better than Blake Griffin. Like,
yeah, but Blake Griffin never left an assault rifle in an unlocked car.
Blake Griffin never had a Snapchat caption that said "ready or not."
You know what my big thing with Hassan Whiteside is? He got traded from Miami to Portland.
Yeah, because everybody.
This is actually
a terrible contract.
Do you see what's on the screen right now? Zach LaVine is going to make $48 million in 2026.
How much does Brad Beal make?
Brad Beal's the worst contract in the NBA.
It's
Brad Beal's the worst contract in the NBA. Yeah.
It's always 47 mil for 4 more years.
Brad Beal, other than Jokic, makes the most, and Giannis, I think, are the only players that have a bigger contract than Brad Beal.
No,
but you can't put a price on that.
But he has a no trade clause, but I think people like underrate how huge that is, because like that means he can like force his way to a very specific team, and they have all the leverage, and then they can just give back like crap.
Giving Beal
like, why would you give him a no trade clause?
Listen, everyone wants
5-year max, no trade clause.
Everyone wants to say $48 million for Brad Beal. That's a lot of money. It's a big number. But can you truly put a price on the amount of sheer unbridled joy 6 congressional staffers will have at his expense watching the Washington Wizards for $10?
Have you ever been to a Wizards game at the Wizards Stadium?
I used to go for free.
Oh yeah, he went to college.
Free ticket and chicken sandwich.
I went there last year, and it was the single worst experience I've ever had. Yeah. It's the worst stadium. It's awful.
And they always just manage to have like
concert events,
boring rosters.
Don't give a shit, which is kind of cool.
Like, don't they have Ish Smith for like the fifth time?
You can probably like smoke like 7-8 joints inside of the Capital One Arena. No one will even look at you.
Well, weed became legal in Washington, D.C. way earlier than other places, very surprisingly. Mm-hmm. It's literally just because people in politics were like, we have to smoke weed because we're such terrible people that in order to live with the things that we do on a regular basis, we have to smoke
weed is really funny
copious amounts of weed.
Because it's not actually legal. You're still having to go to some drug dealer guy.
No.
Page.
You buy it at stores.
They have DoorDash
stores where you have to where you get but that's bullshit. You have to
you buy a
painting, and then they give you a sticker. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
they have DoorDash for weed.
Go to some guy that's like Dank Bubs GC, and then he sends out you a Snapchat 4 times a day to let you know what the specials are.
Yo.
That guy rocks. That's how Miami works. Yeah. Best city in America.
The guy Ken I had on my last podcast has absolutely used that service before. I just want to say that someone asked me if I would be. This is not going to happen. This was a while ago, but they said, "Do you have any interest in advertising weed maps on your podcast?" And I was like, "This would be a very good audience for weed maps. I'll tell you that much." People that listen to this podcast, I'm a baby, and weed gives me panic attacks. But most people that listen to this podcast is probably totally fine with that.
Ooh, nightmare NBA blood rotations.
Nightmare. Jonathan Isaac, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, just all those guys.
Wait, who else is in that? Gordon Hayward. So, hold on.
I say
Ben just clanked. Wait, was that Ben that just clanked a mid-range turnaround shot?
probably.
Come on, Isaiah Joe from the corner, money.
Jonathan Isaac.
Give me that.
Joe Harris has missed like 4 wide open threes.
I want to follow this up. This is a good bit.
Yeah.
No, okay. I agree.
Grayson Allen is a good one.
I think Haslam.
Haslam. Okay, all right. Haslam for sure, 100%. Haslam is my number 1. That guy's horrifying.
No. But Haslam knows Riley, and Riley has the good shit.
Yeah, Riley has the good shit if you want cocaine. Yeah, this is weed. I don't want cocaine. We're talking. I don't want my shit laced.
Worst weed in the NBA? Is that what you're wondering? Is that the question?
No. Nightmare blunt rotation in the NBA.
Ooh.
My number 1 is Haslam.
It's gotta be. Sadly, it has to be. CJ has to be on there.
CJ McCollum.
What does he do?
He's going to talk about how much real estate he's buying in Easton, Pennsylvania, and I'm like, dude, like, great. I'm so glad that you bought this warehouse next to the Crayola factory. Good for you.
They bought stuff together.
I bet Tobias would be terrible. I bet Tobias would be
like... No. I don't think Tobias would be that bad because I think Tobias is very malleable. He can bounce from circle to circle. He can be like the stoner guy in one circle and the crypto guy.
You can argue Tobias would be really good because I bet he's like the type of guy that reads 6 Wikipedia articles a day. Like, he just always has like little 100% for you.
Exactly. No, I agree. No,
did you know the CIA helped plan a coup in Indonesia in 1972?
Okay. All right, so I'm going Udonis Haslam number 1 for me. I'm going Jonathan Isaac or Michael Porter Jr. for sure, number 2. I'll go 2, 3 for them, and then 4 I would go. Honestly,
Kyrie.
No, Kyrie would be a good one.
Kyrie would be so boom or bust. It would either be like incredible or awful.
A great one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Kyrie would be good.
Kyrie could not be any better than Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac would be awesome. It would be his first time smoking weed. He'd be terrified. He'd have to burgers or Planet Earth on.
All right, let me look at some of the comments here. Oh, Ben missed
2 free throws. You can be excited.
I mean, come on now. You didn't even need to tell me that. I could have told you that before it happened. So yeah, that's the thing is that I think Tobias smokes enough weed that he would be cool. Like if you smoke with him. CJ has wine. That's a good point. CJ would bring a good bottle of red.
Fair enough.
Gordon Hayward's wife.
By the way,
she called the cops for a different reason.
NBA Dream blunt rotation is just Phil Jackson. And
speaking
acid.
Speaking of Phil Jackson, I want to make fun of Ramona Shelburne because she was like I was listening to her Low Post appearance recently, and she was praising Phil Jackson, how he's the best ever at getting the most out of every player. And the examples she used were Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal. So it's like, yeah, he's the best at optimize. Just give him the best players in the history of basketball, and he's good to go.
3 of the 10 best.
Credit to Phil Jackson, though. He was the coach of Bison Deli, who immediately after Phil Jackson stopped being the coach, got lost at sea. So that's truly getting the most of a player.
What?
Yeah, Bison Deli got lost in sea by Tahiti in like 1999.
Bison Deli honestly sounds like a real deli. I'm going to be honest. It sounds like a deli where you go to buy bison.
Oh yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah, he
in
just
2002.
Disappeared. I think his brother beat him with a hammer.
Oh, his brother killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus,
that's awful.
Wow, Isaiah Joe almost made us crazy. The Sixers just scored 42 points in the first quarter against the Nets.
Yeah, it's the Nets. It's a pretty routine thing.
Sorry, I was reading Bison Deli's Wikipedia.
Sorry, I was reading an obituary of a man who was killed by his brother, lost at sea.
Wait, did you guys know? Speaking of men who love the sea, did you know Did you know that Boris Diaw runs French basketball now?
I do.
That makes
Very cool.
I'm gonna watch them. Boris
get a beer.
Diaw is one of my 3 to 5 favorite players of all time. Like
I'm obsessed.
Unironically.
I'm obsessed with the Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid team up. It's gonna be the greatest.
Isn't it done
thing.
now?
Yeah, the two of them and Victor.
Yeah, Embiid's on the French national team now.
No, I thought he was done now that he was an American citizen. I thought he's helping our troops, our stars and stripes, baby, taking one.
No,
home.
I think he's still on the French national team. Like I think he got dual citizenship.
Wait, you can get 3 citizenships?
You can get as many as you want as long as they're allies.
I thought it was just 2. I thought it was 2, and then otherwise you're on Mossad.
I think it depends. I think it depends on. It depends on.
I think if you're Joel Embiid, you get to do things that not rich people don't get to do.
Fair enough.
Ooh, what's this nightmare blunt rotation? Steph, and I agree. Steph might be bad. MPJ, Jimmy, and Dinwiddie. I guess Dinwiddie we just talk about crypto the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, I think I just want to see that lineup with Victor, Embiid, and Gobert, because Victor is 9 feet tall and he would be playing small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be Victor,
incredible.
Rudy, Embiid, Fournier, and I guess they just like
every international
like Theo Maledon.
I don't know. I don't know that much about French basketball.
They have no guards. Like their guards are that's the only thing that throws me with them is like every other team there like has like a guard except for them. I don't know what it is.
Batum.
France.
But Batum can be a guard. He's guarding now.
How old is Nick Batum going to be by the next Olympics? Like 43.
Oh my God!
Who cares?
Frank Ntilikina.
Frankie Nicotine.
I didn't even realize. No, they're
Nick's
winning the
legend.
gold.
Yeah, they're winning the Olympics.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
Sorry, I had to find my opener.
But Fournier is like not good, but then every international tournament comes around and Ball Don't Stop becomes like the biggest Fournier stand.
Did you ever listen to the episode where he had Fournier on the podcast? It's one of my favorite episodes of podcast history.
The only episode I've ever listened to in its entirety is the real 75 best players of all time.
Yeah, I watch that. Yeah,
it's just like John Wall and Darren Williams.
Marbury, like 17th.
Honorable mention, Bill Russell. Actually in the honorable mention.
He had Bill Russell in the honorable mentions, and then he included Jamal Crawford. My favorite inclusion wasn't even like John Wall or Jamal Crawford or the guys that I expected him to have. It was Jermaine O'Neal.
Wait, is Ball Don't Stop a Brandon Roy guy?
Probably.
Brandon Roy? Roy was on the list, yes.
All right, I was like, Brandon Roy has to be on Ball Don't Stop. So
no, he was on the list. I remember he was on the list.
That's a really funny guy for him to be super into Jermaine O'Neal. Given that, like, I know him as, like...
Dude, there were a lot of guys from the mid-2000s on there.
He's like a Bam hater.
It's just all guys from when he grew up. That's all it is. It's just his favorite players from
guys who were big.
All guys from the late 90s and early 2000s. That's the whole list.
And he just like kind of stopped paying attention to basketball for like 5 years and left out like a whole crop of guys, and then was like
his rants are always, he always says basketball got shitty around like 2012, 2013, and it's that's exactly when the NBA got way better. Like
100%.
That
Pacers
team with David West and Roy Hibbert was a title contender. Like that NBA
what happened in
sucked.
2012? You should know you're a fan of the team. What happened?
Well, the Nets moved to Brooklyn. They were going to get Dwight Howard,
correct.
LeBron.
The biggest war crime in NBA history.
Actually, two of the biggest war crimes in NBA history
of moving a team ever in professional sports.
Actually, 3 of the biggest war crimes. You had the Tatum Brown trade, which obviously was the Garnett Pierce trade, but the trade that was worse than that was the Gerald Wallace trade.
I stand by that.
This is the worst trade in NBA history. I think.
Top 3 protected first for Gerald Wallace, and the best part is they did that trade in order to get Darren Williams to re-sign, and that contract turned into like the worst contract in the NBA.
Yep.
So
and Gerald Wallace only had one All-Star season where he barely made the All-Star team, and other than that, was not an All-Star level player.
That was when he was on the Hornets, right? At Bobcats?
No, he was on the Blazers. Because
who they
drafted
made the All-Star team in
right?
Charlotte, I think.
Yeah, he did make it with the Bobcats. Yeah. Do you know who was drafted with that pick, Parm?
Unknown kid out of Weber State.
Little known Damian Lillard.
Oh, really?
Was drafted with the 6th pick in the draft. That that they traded for Gerald Wallace.
So what is it? The Paul Pierce trade that got him Jamal Murray?
With the Paul
One of them's Jamal Murray.
Jamal
right?
Murray was a Knicks pick.
That's the Knicks Carmelo thing.
Oh, okay.
That was Masai got that pick.
Best GM of all time, Masai Ujiri. Just draft a 6'9" long guy.
Our king and god, Masai Ujiri.
OG Anunoby is Kawhi.
So wait, are they running Royce O'Neal at center right now?
No, Claxton and Ben are both out there.
Okay, I just saw Montrez.
Durant looks so pissed. They just showed a Durant pic on the the Nets broadcast, which I have on my phone, and he's just like, "I am redoing the trade request."
Well, yeah, probably because he had to talk to Nick Friedel today.
Oh, I unironically very much dislike Nick Friedel because he just takes so much joy in the. No, like he was because I listened to all the Low posts. He was on that very recently, and Zach, because he's Zach Lowe, was like, all right, what if they do a Royce, KD, Nick Claxton, switch everything? I think that could be really interesting. And Friedel was just like, but what about the drama? He just like actively refused to talk.
He
about
doesn't
basketball.
know anything about basketball. Literally nothing.
And like, I don't understand how he's employed. Like,
it makes literally no sense to me. I've never heard him say one thing about basketball that was insightful. Like, at least Bontemps watches the games.
Yeah, like he's dumb, but he like has basketball opinions.
I don't even think that Bontemps is dumb. I think Bontemps is just rigid in his opinions and does not break from them. Like, I think he's very like, this is what I know and I will not change my opinion. Like, it took literally the Celtics making it to the finals for them to get some respect from him, basically.
It took a long time to get up on Tatum specifically. I was very much a Tatum hater. Because like I thought he was gonna be like a Carmelo kind of player, but then he turned into this like incredible defender and like shot more threes. I don't know. Like I finally took the L. It took way too long, but
you were not a Jason Tatum believer.
No, I thought he'd be like a not as good Carmelo, which in the 2020s is worse than the 2000 because he shot all those mid rangers,
but he was always a good defender.
Not at Duke.
Yeah, but in his rookie year, he was like very good for a rookie.
He whelmed me at Duke. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He was not that good at Duke.
Like, it wasn't like I wasn't against him, but like he's like there are wings that just happen in the top 5 of the NBA draft that I just don't understand for one reason or another, and he's one of them. You know, like Patrick Williams, like never made any fucking sense to me. Like why you would pick that guy with the top 10 pick. I mean, you know,
I'm not
like a similar kind of thing. Like I just didn't get it.
I'm not a total draft sicko. Like I follow like casually, but I remember when Josh Jackson got picked, everybody was like, yeah, he's really not that good, but he's really athletic and plays kind of hard.
There's always one of those guys.
That should be like the 20-something pick. Like, why would that be a top 5 pick? And then
Kawhi broke the NBA.
Sarver didn't want Tatum, or no, who didn't he want? Because they already had, I don't know, I'm getting it mixed up. But like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist way back in the day, same thing. It's just like, oh, he's bad at basketball, but he has like a good NBA.
But there's no consistency really, because there's no consistency to me, because they say that, but then Tari Eason falls to the 17th pick, despite averaging nearly 40 points per 100 possessions, being a beast defensively, and having some shooting upside. Like, there's at least a 20% chance Tari Eason's a star. There's probably a 50% chance he's a very good role player. And he went with the 17th pick because of what reason?
Another Nets pick, by the way.
Can I divert the chat for a quick aside? Steve Nash has aged like Barack Obama.
Yeah, he has
this man is so fucking stressed out. He has aged 10 years in the last 3.
What is he doing? Like, I'm get it confused when he took the job. When he took the job, it was like an easy ring because like they had the Harden thing planned already. Yeah. They were like, he was like, all right, I don't have to coach. This is no longer an easy job. Like, you're worth 9 digits. Like, what are they? Does the ring as a coach? Like, I guess maybe it's because he never won a ring, but like, I want him to resign so they can hire Quinn Snyder, because the Nets are a sicko team, so they need a sicko coach.
No.
And like Steve Nash, he's like a decent NBA coach and like knows how.
Snyder is getting the Spurs job.
That makes sense, but like if you're Snyder,
Pop is winning 11 games, so we can give Victor to Snyder. That's like what
that
I
would
really
be a perfect
believe.
little.
Let
That makes
Quinn
sense.
Snyder do cocaine in San Antonio.
Yeah, do they have cocaine in San Antonio? I'm not sure.
There's a major army base there, I would have to imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, definitely.
I
know nothing about San Antonio.
Well, yeah, I mean San Antonio.
I only know what I've learned from Charles Barkley, but I love and respect women.
Yeah,
so I won't
say about the San Antonio.
We're not going to say what he said. So
what's Bill Simmons' snatch take?
What was I going to say? Well, Bill Simmons is boys with Steve Nash. Isn't
Bill
he?
Simmons defends KD to the end. I know that.
Pretty
Bill
sure
Simmons
he's boys
probably
with Nash.
Bill Simmons mediated Nash and KD reconciling because he's the only guy who.
Yeah, he's the only guy who likes Bill. Bill said something on the pod that either dropped yesterday or today. I forget when, but
he's like, "Listen,
yeah, it's when they go. It's when he goes over like the following week's NFL games with the other guy." And at one point he said,
Cousin Sal, by the way, don't forget
Cousin
that.
Sal. He said, none of these games excite me. I might go to my daughter's soccer game on Sunday. Which, like, interacting with his own children is like, okay,
the worst thing you can imagine.
That interests me, so I guess I'll be a decent father for a while.
I guess I won't.
Troy, you want to talk about that too?
I have
how you made me plug the Miami Dolphins on your podcast, and then my guy almost fucking dies.
No. I didn't make you plug the Miami Dolphins. I made you plug Tua specifically.
Check the fucking data. You said it's time to promote the Miami Dolphins parm, and
I thought it was Tua. I thought, which is even worse. I thought it was just Tua.
And then,
and then he literally died on the field
in heaven.
I'm in heaven now.
It's the Philadelphia Phillies year. They're going to make a run. Bryce is back. Sixers are winning 66 games, making it to the finals. And the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
Wait, did the Phillies win?
Are you hearing Phils? Is that the news?
No, I just believe in them. They are.
I don't watch baseball at all, and I believe in them because I live in the same city as them.
I became a Phillies fan like 3 years ago, so I need them to win, so I'm vindicated.
My childhood was just Mets incompetence leading to Philly success. It's the only reason Philly's got that World Series.
The last time I was into baseball was...
I've already cleared out 4 days in my calendar for early November to go be belligerent at the Yankees ticker tape parade. It's what I've been waiting for my entire life.
Just for Aaron Judge to leave. You know? Oh yeah, the Eagles Giants NFC title game. It's going to be electric. And everyone's like, "Oh, the Giants suck. They just have a good record." That's the Giants' thing: is winning playoff games when they're clearly the worst team. They do that better than anyone.
But here's the thing:
unless they play the Eagles, they've never beat the Eagles in the playoffs.
It's also the Eagles' thing is winning playoff
Eagles were
games.
Good that
the Eagles are always very good when they win in the playoffs.
Yeah, like when they won the.
But weren't they the?
They were bad last year.
Weren't they the Vegas underdog every game of the Super Bowl run?
Yeah, that might make.
They had Nick Foles.
But they were like the best team all year.
Yeah, they were really good that year.
The Giants, the second Super Bowl year, were 32nd in rushing and had a below average defense.
They were 9-7 in the regular
They had
season.
Kelly Ripa's future co-host for 4 years and Michael Strahan, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
I mean,
did you know he went to space?
Strahan went to space?
Yeah, I guess Jeff Bezos decided to send one of Good Morning America to space, and they just fucking strap Michael Strahan.
They should do that, but
thank
with
you, Jeff Bezos.
This is a good comment. Trill, you would love MLB slop season.
Everyone says this, and they tag me in posts, and then I go, I don't know who any of these players are. So
there was a point. I made a comp with the biggest MLB trade. Imagine there was a Durant trade to Phoenix, but Jay Crowder had a no trade clause, so it fucked up the whole thing. Because like that basically happened at this MLB trade. Like they ended up getting it resolved because there's no need to salary match, so it makes life
they
way
sent
easier.
my poor boy Luke Voigt to Washington D.C.
But like the 12th best player in the trade had a no trade clause and was about to ruin it for everybody. It was ridiculous.
More guys in the NBA should do that. Like Furkan Korkmaz should take $3 million less for a no trade clause. That would be awesome.
I think somebody stupid on the Nets I had a no trade clause. Like, I think the Nets had to give the reason the Nets had to give an extra first in the OG Pierce KG trade was that, like, I think the Celtics extended Gerald Wallace a year. because he had a no trade clause, and so to incentivize him to waive it, they gave him like way too much money. So the Nets had to give the Celtics an additional Oh my! It's like it's worse than you could possibly imagine, and it's still regarded as like the worst trade ever.
Also
it's like
created the James Young moment, by the way.
Beal, Ayton, and who else?
Ayton doesn't have a no trade clause. It's just the part of the fact that it's the contract he signed.
Yeah, Beal is the only no trade clause in the league, I guess.
Because they're like because Melo had one and it fucked things up.
I mean, I guess LeBron probably does. I would have to imagine.
They should trade like if the Lakers
had one right in his contract.
There's no way for them to be good. Like they should trade LeBron and AD. Like they'll never do it. But like if this was a video game, they should trade LeBron and AD.
If in parody satire in a video game.
Yeah, like, but Kobe Bryant visited Jeannie Buss in a dream.
If LeBron and AD have like monster years, they're gonna be like the 8th seed. Like Damian Jones is there in the starting lineup. They're so bad.
Yeah, but Damian Jones isn't only in their starting lineup. He's like their 4th or 5th best player.
But Westbrook,
oh my God.
This is a prove it year for Westbrook.
Yeah, you can't measure heart, Russell Westbrook. You can't measure heart. You can't measure grit and determination.
If he sets screens, shoots some corner threes, if he just completely abandons everything he's done his whole life.
Hey, if Russell Westbrook becomes Alex Caruso, who we literally let walk for nothing, and then traded for an older version of Alex Caruso for the player that we signed over him, they'll be fine.
I'm pivoting this year into being a full Russ stan.
Of course you are.
I got a ton of crap.
What we're doing. I'm pro Russ. You can't measure the grit. You can't measure the heart. The will to win, if you will.
But I think an interesting Russ thing that could happen, if the Bulls are a total shit show, like Vooch and DeRozan to LA.
You stealing my ideas now?
But
I said this like 2 weeks ago.
Did you DM me this?
Maybe. I think so.
We might have DM'd about this, and I might have stole your idea.
But if the Bulls are like 11th in the East, like that, I still think the DeMar contract, like, I think that was a pretty fluky year. Like, I don't think he's just suddenly.
I also don't think DeMar is a good fit with AD and LeBron.
I would rather Buddy and Turner than DeRozan and Vooch.
Yeah, but the Lakers think like ball don't stop.
Okay, so Zach Lowe, you can check the record. Zach Lowe's podcast that said that came out a day after me, Parm, and Daniel recorded. So.
Yeah, that was recent.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, I didn't say Vooch. I said DeRozan and like Kobe White or some shit, like just to make the contracts work. But I don't know. I would not take Vooch. I would rather not have anyone. I'd rather have Paul Reed or Montrezl Harrell than Vooch. He sucks.
Isn't he an expiring? Like you could talk yourself into it next to AD. I think.
Thank you.
Like he has a better shooting season.
He stinks.
I'm so glad people are finally coming around to the realization that Nikola Vucevic is an absolute fraud. Like he's just a total fucking bozo.
How did those teams win games?
Like, how did the Magic get to the fourth or what was it? Fourth?
They were like top 16 defense. No, they only got up to like 7th seed. It was like Fournier.
Hey, as a guy,
Ross, Trill's favorite player.
I made a lot of money off of that Game 1 Magic Raptors.
Oh, the DJ Augustine game?
Because the Raptors were losing Game 1 of the finals every year, and I was like, I'm going to put $100 on the Magic money line.
Yep. They always lose Game 1 in every playoff series. Even to the point where when we destroyed, was against the Nets when they swept them in the bubble.
The most miracle 5-3 seeding. Karis LeVert arrived. You know, he's still only 28. He's got that upside.
Can we pull up my favorite tweet of all time from Ball Don't Stop? It's actually one of the more underrated tweets. I can't believe it doesn't get brought up that often.
Oh no, I think his Montrez tweet is the GOAT.
Hold on, before that, I'm pulling up my own tweet right now because Ball Don't Stop has me blocked, but I have a screenshot of it. Hold on.
Oh, he blocked you? That sucks. I still look at his tweets almost every day.
Oh no, I have another account so I can look at his tweets. Hold on,
bro. He has you blocked. I look at his tweets every day.
I would literally rather kill myself than hold on.
But they're so funny. He said Montrez deserves the credit Draymond
look at his tweets, not on incognito mode.
All right, I'm reading this for people on audio. Karis LeVert has arrived. He's a hooper. He's 6'6". He's poised. He's skilled. He's imposing his will on he imposes his will on a game and goes at defenders in a variety of ways. He's only 25. Like, first off, who says he's only 25? Like all right, Parm with who?
Me,
myself,
on Tinder.
With you. Oh, literally.
Yes, you know what? I appreciate that he has
25
growth after 25.
I don't.
You know?
You're the same person you'll be until you die.
You know, that's what I'm saying. My birthday is in 2 days. You know, I'm all about improvement. I'm all about saying that after 25 can be a big journey for you as an adult and individual. You know,
happy birthday to Parm.
That's what it's about. You know,
Julius Randle got better after age 25. The Nets looked competent for like 2 whole minutes.
Tyson Chandler was bona fide dog shit until he turned like 29, and then he won an NBA Finals.
Yeah, actually, let's be honest. There are a lot of guys that get better, but by the time they're 25 years old, like they're usually pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah, this is why the Houston Rockets gave Bruno the Bruin Dog Fernando a 4-year deal.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, I think that was a Parm guy.
I love Bruno Fernando. I think he's rough.
You know, is Charlotte get a tank
contract?
No, he's fine.
Doesn't he have a isn't his contract like?
It's like
no, he makes like 17 million.
Like
it's not as bad.
Good.
It's not bad once you realize that most starters make 20 million. It's like totally.
How much is Lou Dort making now?
480.
It's like 17, 18. Oh, it's that. I thought it was less.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm amazed that the Nets are treating this like it's a playoff game.
The last 3 years.
How do you come to that conclusion? Nick Claxton fell.
They are literally cheering like every time someone hits a shot like it is a playoff game.
Because they're building that.
Are you watching the game? They're literally jumping all over the place when Kevin Durant, one of the best shooters of all time, makes a 3.
Yeah, man. It's the Nets.
I don't know. We're a poverty franchise. Like you guys think the Sixers are a poverty franchise. They're not. They're always relevant.
No, Parm literally left being a Nets fan because of the
talk to me when you're 31st in merchandise sales. This is a real thing. The Nets in 2010 were 31st in merchandise sales. There were only 30 NBA teams. They were behind the Seattle Supersonics and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Because no one wants to buy New Jersey merch except for fucking people who live in New Jersey and want to celebrate our heritage and culture. All right, I don't want to have to pay $75 fucking dollars in tolls and then an additional $175 to park in Brooklyn, New York, when I could have gone to the fucking Meadowlands myself. Had a wonderful time. The Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey. You know, there are a ton of locations. The Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall. There's many venues for them to play in, and they choose to play in Brooklyn, New York. It's a travesty.
The Nets should move to Wildwood.
That would be so
We're moving the Nets to Wildwood. The Wildwood Nets.
The Wildwood Nets would be sick.
Wild guy in the concourse that's like he's the only guy in the whole stadium that takes fake IDs. Just sets it above him.
And you're allowed to blast cigs. It's an outdoor stadium.
After every game, we're gonna go ride the old wooden roller coaster that's called like the White Snail or something.
No, that's the way you get up and down from the mezzanine to the lower levels. You have to get on the Mighty Mouse roller coaster and hope it doesn't fall into the fucking ocean.
The jerseys are like themed like boardwalk shirts, so it just says Nets and it's Rick from Rick and Morty smoking a blunt.
Their city jersey is just a wife beater that says like "I love my bitch wife,"
and then they have to wear shorts that say like "belongs to New Jersey."
It's just a bunch of Nets logos with just "I love being a Jersey Italian" over
Jersey
the
girls don't pump gas, just like on the ass of the shorts.
Yeah, the garbage.
Great White. That's it. That's what it's called. You uncultured swine. I'm sorry. I haven't been to Wildwood since I was like 17. So please forgive me.
I love Wildwood.
They should have done the whole Swamp Dragons thing. Like if they just leaned into the Swamp Dragon nonsense,
Great bit.
like they could have been kind of fun. But
Here's the thing,
like their
that's
whole
been a theme lately is like the last 10, 15 years, a lot of places are just up and out of New Jersey. It makes me sad. You know,
Like what?
They got rid of the Trenton Thunder 2 years ago.
Oh my God, that play by
Moving to
Maxey.
Bridgewater.
They moved. Wait, the Trenton Thunder are gone?
Yeah, the Trenton Thunder are no longer an official.
Whoa, you know
minor
what they
league
say.
affiliate.
You know
Do
what
they
they
still
say.
have the
You know what they
Newark
say.
Bears?
Hold on.
No,
Trenton
they're a
makes the
team that
world
was also
takes.
going out of biz.
I
Sorry.
love the Newark Bears.
Yeah, they had. Oh, I once watched. Do you remember Eric Gagne?
Yeah, from
I know
He
who
was
I
like the closer that did steroids, and he had like the.
Yeah, that's not a high.
no. There's a different Gagne that was on the Flyers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Eric Gagne was the Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah,
right?
he had he wore like rec specs and looked like the guy from Shinedown. And he
Yeah, a
won a
little bit.
Cy Young in like 2007. I saw him play
dunk!
for the Newark Bears at an
I
indie
saw-
ball game
wait,
once.
I saw Tracy McGrady pitch against the
Oh, for the
Lancaster
Sugarland
Barnstormers.
Skeeters? For this against
Yeah,
what was it?
Tracy
Aren't the
McGrady.
Barnstormers? Is that
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
huge. So the Barnstormers rock, but when Tracy McGrady was pitching for the Skeeters, he pitched against the Barnstormers, so I
Yeah.
went.
I watched him play the Jackals. That's really funny.
That's amazing,
um,
actually.
Because wasn't
know Tracy
Clemens
McGrady played
playing
them.
for them for a while?
Yeah, he owns the team, I think.
Because his son was on the team, so he pitched
Yeah, and it
for
was
him when
the
he was
one
like
that is the
46.
shitty son that's not good enough to be in Major League Baseball, so he bought him like an indie ball team.
He bought him a team so he could play the Armani Bates special, the Patrick Baldwin Jr. model.
Oh,
Because
that's
isn't
another
Armani-
dunk.
Also,
Isn't Armani
there was a
Bates?
thing like 2 years ago of like Matt Latos, who used to pitch for the Reds.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah, I
kicked.
know him.
He got like kicked out of a New Jersey Jackals game for like fighting the fans.
That rocks.
Was he in the stands or?
Oh yeah, he just
Joe
like
Harris
walked right
does
up
look
into the
bad.
stands and like someone was heckling him, so he just went up and like started scrapping him with him. I think there's like a video on Twitter or YouTube that you can watch it.
Oh fuck!
It's
Kyler.
pretty
You guys,
good.
you guys have paid attention to a lot more minor league baseball than I have. I think I can count on one hand how many minor
Well,
league
my
baseball-
favorite part about minor league baseball is like when you go to the games and they have to put like a pool in the outfield so that people go. And they're like,
Oh,
yeah,
there's,
let's
I-
there's a
yeah.
major league team that does.
Who?
Yeah, the
The
two
Diamondbacks.
now.
The
Arizona
Brewers do
Diamondbacks.
it, the Diamondbacks do
They're
it.
in the desert. They probably should
Yeah.
preserve water. Let's be honest.
Oh,
Well, they can
It's
drink
so-
from the
inside. It's
pool.
not evaporating.
So
Well,
I
it
wrote
will be.
a bunch of notes before this started, and there's one actual basketball thing that we have not addressed. Aren't the Hornets gonna just give LaMelo the SGA treatment and just lose 60
Sit him out.
games?
I don't think
Because,
he's
like,
good enough to
what
make
are they
that
supposed
team
to do?
good.
Oh, I think he'll, but I don't know. I think not.
He's
good,
amazing.
but,
I
like,
love LaMelo.
I think
I'm
the
very,
Hornets
like-
just straight up trade for SGA. Just
like
be
because
done.
they'll win. I think if LaMelo plays a full season,
There
they'll
you
win
go.
like
Problem solved.
32, 33 games, which is like you're not
Yeah.
in that top victor group.
Probably too much.
So-
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying is PJ Washington for Seth Curry and a pick. That's really what this is about. Is to get PJ Washington on the Brooklyn Nets. It's
Maybe
my number
Yeah,
one
that would
narrative
be-
goal.
That would be a good trade for you guys.
He's a good player, and they've tried to trade him multiple times, and I don't get it. He's like, I don't understand why every team doesn't want him. Like, is
Yeah.
it just that nonsense with the baby mama? Is it
Maybe
like-
he's got a bad image because of that. You know, because of
I don't
Wendy
get-
Renner.
Yeah,
I love
that's
when
her name.
guys on Twitter are like, "This is a fucking. She's a predator." I'm like, who cares, dude?
And
PJ
Twitter is
Washington's
so many
22, he's fine.
incels.
It's so weird. It's like, dude, who gives a shit? He's 22 years old. If he's 22 and making these decisions, let him do his thing. When I was 22, I wouldn't listen to anything anyone would say. So let's just let him cook.
I'm 22 now. I think I.
You're gonna blame him for being 22 and getting Instagram messages from hot women saying, "Hey, do you want to
Well,
have sex?"
exactly.
I'm
I'm
$9
pretty-
million dollars.
I'm pretty sure he had
taking
like
advantage
just
of every
turned
single one of those
18.
opportunities.
But yeah,
He had just
SGA
turned
had the best
18.
job.
That's not. So he was at Kentucky.
it was.
I
I thought it was
look.
when he's at Kentucky.
Look,
Really?
That's what I.
I've
He wasn't
seen
even
Dante
that famous until, like,
DiVincenzo's tweets
I-
from high school.
Well, he was like a big recruit, and
Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo's tweets from high school would be like everything with every guy that
You
looked
mean-
like and acted like this Dante DiVincenzo from my high school has definitely tweeted that.
do you mean Delaware Michael Jordan?
Yes.
This is. I agree with this. SGA best job in the league. High value, never plays. He gets paid a shit ton to not play much.
But playing basketball's fun. That's the thing.
But you can still hoop at practice and stuff. I don't. And then
Look,
he gets
too. Do you think Ben Simmons is jealous of SGA?
Honestly, SGA for Ben, great trade for both teams. If the Thunder are trying to lose and the Nets are trying to win.
All right, but they got to throw in Poku to make it fair. I'm still one of those who thinks 5% chance Poku's an NBA player.
Poku sucks. He'll be playing in some other league soon. Okay. So all right, hold on, shut up. The actual NBA things we haven't talked about. The actual NBA things we have not talked about is the Celtics signing Blake Griffin.
Terrible.
Which is
Blake Griffin is going to bomb at Boston clubs.
Yeah, like I like that tweet about New York had stand-up comedy.
I said what? When you don't make it in New York and LA,
New York or LA, so you go to Boston. Decent fallback.
Unfortunately, Austin doesn't have a NBA.
He's just opening for Bill Burr.
Blake sucks. Like I don't understand. Like there's Nets fans who are like, oh, but he took all those charges. Like that's like less than one game, and he's
he did lock up Giannis a few times. So
yeah, but he like emptied his physical tank.
Yeah,
he gave that playoff series every last juice he had. He was so like he was less washed. No, he was more washed than LaMarcus Aldridge. Like LaMarcus Aldridge had like productive moments with that last year. Like Griffin sucked all year.
Also, and he's way bigger. The vibes here are terrible. Let's bring in Blake Griffin.
Yeah, people are trying to say Blake Griffin isn't a bad vibes guy, and I'm like, I feel like everyone knows Blake Griffin's an asshole.
Isn't he the guy most notable for like throwing an equipment manager? Like grabbing
Blake Griffin is not a good guy.
Throwing through a hallway.
When Blake was good, he was like the most universally disliked All-Star by fellow All-Stars in the NBA. Like,
can we remember the great Blake Griffin moment, which is when he went to sign the Supermax with the Clippers? So they had a banner hung to show his jersey retirement that said "Clipper for life."
And it had MLK and Obama, and it was
MLK and Obama and Blake Griffin.
Those are like the innovators. Yeah.
I watched a lot.
They traded him like 8 months later.
Yeah. Detroit hates Blake. Like I went to school in Michigan, so I know a lot of Pistons fans, and they're just like, this guy threw for us. So like he ruined his career to get that awful Pistons team in the playoffs in 2019.
He had the best year of his career.
That was his best. Yeah, that's the best year he ever had.
He was so good that year. The 18-19.
That was the Stan year.
Yeah. Was that from Comrade Stan Van Gundy?
That was the last Stan year.
Yes, I didn't know that. I found that out like in the last 3 months that Stan Van Gundy is like this base Twitter guy. It's phenomenal. It makes me so happy.
That's based as a stretch. Occasionally likes a Marianne Williamson tweet from 2 weeks ago. Certainly.
King. Yeah, King. So he's literally in the if he likes Marianne.
Because he was spotted at Black Lives Matter protests because someone tried to hand him a blunt. That's the famous Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, I know.
And he was like, I can't.
Sorry, I can't. Listen, I support the cause, but I can't
That's dream rotation for me. Is Stan Van Gundy gets into the dream rotation.
Let's talk dream blunt rotation.
What? Stan for sure.
Who's in your dream blunt rotation in the NBA?
Ooh.
Phil, how you feeling on Phil?
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah,
he might bring a gun and also tell you how Giannis sucks.
Gotta be.
I personally have to have Claxton just because I've hyped him up so much over the years, and he doesn't even know who I am. So I think I need to. I think I need to have him in my.
Probably me with Maxey.
He should be an NBA player. I really honestly think that.
Knowing Isaac Bonga should be in mine, knowing that like he should know personally that I've named like 3 pieces of equipment after him. You know,
that's how I feel about Thon McCurr. I just like want to hang out with him. I'm a huge Thon guy.
Oh, I love Thon.
Is it? Do you actually say it? McCurr? Is it not
Wizards now?
Is he back in the league? I thought he was out of the league.
No, his cousin is.
He was on the Long Island Nets.
Oh, McCord.
Yeah,
nice.
They're really showing Ben Simmons highlights at halftime. He's
actually pretty good too. I think you're gonna be kind of surprised by like him being semi decent this year for the Wiz.
I thought Thon would be good.
Or Maker.
No,
like in the
he's
G
not.
League.
He's
No,
not.
in the G League, I think you'll be impressed.
Come on.
I think you'll be a little impressed.
He's gonna put up
Absolutely
20 and 20 in the G League.
That's
Like I think his whole thing is that he can give you like 13, 3, and 3 as a center, which is
Ben
kind of
Simmons highlights feel like Carson Wentz highlights, where you're just like happy to see him do anything at all. Like every
I thought Wentz did too many things. I thought like he just like he took too many risks and I don't know.
He thinks too much, just like Ben. They love overthinking every situation they're in.
But Ben isn't stupid. Wentz thinks very hard and is also stupid. So like someone explained it perfectly, which was that Wentz has the object permanence of a toddler. Because when someone like if he backs up, we're talking about Carson Wentz, right? That's who everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I jumped in mid conversation.
I like the Wentz Simmons analog. It's always worked very well for me.
But I will say Ken brought up a good point on the podcast. He said that Wentz at least tried to put his body on the line, and Ben basically backed out the second things got hard, which is like, as much as I actually hate Wentz more than I hate Ben, I think. Like, it is unfortunate that is the case. Like, Wentz did basically get CTE for the Eagles.
But for what it's worth,
Wentz
does not have that dog in him.
He has no dog in him.
And neither does Ben Simmons. But
Ben is the least dog.
Ben has a chihuahua.
I think so far in Ben's illustrious Brooklyn tenure, the thing that has pissed me off the most is he brings up that like 3 weeks with Bellinelli and Ilyasova so much. It was like
the JJ Redick interview.
It was like 12 games against tanking teams. And it was like 4 years ago. Like it was
like when
really
people
good.
say Obi Toppin stats at the end of the season. Like I'm not impressed.
Like somebody called it Josh Jackson syndrome because Josh Jackson his first couple years in the league at the end of the year would like start being kind of good against like tanking teams, and people would be like, Josh Jackson break coming
next year.
Suck.
Yeah.
And the last 15 games, like his first 3
years. Josh Jackson's the one who had his toddler smoking a blunt, right?
He was, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, dream blunt rotation. Josh Jackson, toddler.
That's a really funny thing to do.
We're like, child abuse is hilarious.
You know? Dream blunt rotation. Phil Jackson, Stan Van Gundy, Gilbert Arenas, Josh Jackson's toddler.
Hold on. This comment says apparently there's a movie being filmed at the Nets game, and that's why the crowd is going wild. If you need a raucous crowd for a movie, why the fuck would you pick a Brooklyn Nets preseason game?
Because
it's like the worst possible choice.
It's the only place you can get like 50 tickets for the film crew, and because no one's fucking going.
Yeah, no one goes.
The movie's in black and white, and it's cheaper to decolor.
Like, because like MSG gets loud in the MSG. It's like a self-fulfilling bit that like the Knicks fans are not in on. Like I don't.
Well, they love like your January game that like the other team doesn't.
They go wild in the preseason. They're insane. Yeah. They riot in the streets when they hit 500 in 2021. It was ridiculous.
How are you saying that you don't know? You're wearing the Mets shirt.
The Mets fans are like Raptors fans.
It's the same
vibe.
It's the same vibe.
The Mets fans know they suck. It's very different.
I think both do, and it's a psychosis that gets to you like 2-3 weeks before the season starts. And you're like, oh,
well, first of all, what if the Mets are going to win 100 games? So like the Mets are like they're the fourth best team in baseball. Like but the Mets made the World Series like recently. The Knicks since I was born have won one playoff series.
I told it earlier to Trill, so while he's gone, I want to tell my Kris Humphries story.
Oh, Nets legend.
So I have been to one NBA preseason game, and it was Ben Simmons' first game at Wells Fargo Center. I drove to Philadelphia. I was like, I got to see Ben. Game 1, we're ready. And Kris Humphries was on the Sixers practice squad. And he got put on the floor and dribbled the ball off his foot and missed a shot and didn't box out and got booed out of the game.
He got booed off the court in preseason.
Game 1 of the preseason, he got booed off the court. And then in the fourth quarter, the crowd starts chanting, "We want Humphries." And finally, Brett Brown checks him in, and the crowd starts booing the second he steps on the court. It was the meanest thing I've ever seen. Like, it was like a half-filled Wells Fargo Center just bullying Kris Humphries, and then he got cut like 2 hours after the game.
That's like.
Have you ever read his article that he wrote?
Oh, did he have a Players Tribune?
Oh my God! Wait, you haven't read it?
No.
It's literally about how booing like has made him like suicidal for the last 4 years of his NBA career.
Well, then he should suck less. Like, you're gonna get booed when you suck.
Oh my God!
The most likable player of all time.
He wrote that article.
The saddest articles on the Players Tribune.
He wrote that article 6 months after I saw that happen.
Who?
I told the Kris Humphries story while you were gone.
That's so funny.
Kris Humphries rocks, dude.
The first Nets thing I ever remember being so passionate about was needing to bench Kris Humphries, because the first year in Brooklyn there was a big debate at power forward.
You were a big Kanye guy.
Kris Humphries versus Reggie Evans, and I was very Reggie Evans killed. So, and I was like, he's the perfect compliment to Brooke.
Yeah, Jack, go.
I'm reading I was skimming the Kris Humphries Player Tribune article, and I want to pull up 2 great quotes from the old blurbs. We got, I got fucking discombobulated, bro, from Kris Humphries. And B, back in the day, I used to crush Phelps. Lochte too. Name an Olympic swimmer, and when we were 10, I smoked them. So Kris Humphries, Olympic swimmer, apparently.
Kris Humphries, the man when he was 10 years old. So Kris Humphries, a rare NBA resume here of dissed by Kanye, which is on a fucking like a fire Kanye song, by the way. Cold, the Theraflu song. Dissed by Kanye. Was played for the Process Sixers, played for the Nets, and even Jay-Z Kanye had a line about Jay-Z cutting him from the team because Jay-Z was a part owner at the time. Yeah. Famous Republican, by the way, Kris Humphries.
That I knew.
Yeah, he's a Republican. And also, the last time I remember thinking about Kris Humphries was during the 2018 NFC Championship game when the Eagles played the Vikings, and Kris Humphries ran in the cold in Minnesota carrying a Vikings flag, and it went viral. And then my cat just knocked something over. And then after that, they got absolutely fucking their teeth kicked in. So just a horde of L's from Kris Humphries.
Last I checked, Eagles still undefeated with Joel Embiid in attendance. I haven't kept track of it in a while, but I believe that is
last
true.
I checked, actually, someone. I'll keep that off the air. But the Eagles are 4-0, and we need to talk about
Hurts MVP.
Hurts for MVP, possibly.
He's up to second in odds. It goes Josh Allen.
I'm kind of surprised after last game, just because the weather was so shitty, he couldn't pad his stats at all, and like he kind of looked like shit in the first quarter. But then that's what I like, though. He looks like shit in first quarters a lot, and then they bounce back and win.
Isn't NFL MVP almost always just like the quarterback of the 1 seed? Like, isn't it basically always that?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I remember, the last few times it's like Lamar Jackson.
Wasn't Wentz gonna win it that year
until he got hurt? Yeah, and then Brady won because he was the 1 seed in the other conference.
It's always just the quarterback of the 1 seed, and the NFC East is so bad that the Eagles will go like 14-3. So that's probably the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, it really. I think Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson will probably win, but Hurts is probably in third.
I mean, the Eagles are going to lose at MetLife because the Giants will fraud their way to the Super Bowl once again.
I might be in attendance for that game, by the way. So
genuinely, the Giants have maybe 4 good players. Like, they have the worst team. It's truly
they're the worst 2-0 team I've ever seen in my life.
Eagles hot take. I kind of want them to lose this week because they're gonna have to lose eventually, and I'd rather it be like after a kind of shitty to watch game and then they bounce back than like
instead of losing versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what I mean.
Bill Simmons, he's all in on the Ewing theory stuff with Dak and what's his face, Cooper Rush.
Because he's like 4-0. Cooper Rush.
All right, do you want to hear this murder squad that came out for the second half for Brooklyn? Cam Thomas,
Yang so much.
David Duke, Yuta Watanabe, Sumner, and Markieff Morris.
So would you say that you're a David Duke supporter, Will?
Wait, that David Duke quote where he's like, I think I could be good enough at basketball to like make people change what they think of the name David
Is he
Duke.
betting on himself?
Amazing. Yeah, that's a major bet on yourself. You're like, there's a famous racist that I'm going to try to dethrone, and racists are very famous.
He's like as good as you can be at racism. And
how good at basketball would he have to be like, he'd have to be like a multiple time all-star, right?
Hey,
like,
I never said to support that person in the comments. I will say he did have one game. It was the saddest game ever because it was like a no Hard, no Kyrie, no Durant home Nets game, and it was versus the Magic, and he almost won the game by himself by just like trying really hard. He had like 11 offensive rebounds, and he's like a 6'4" guard, and he scored like their whole offense in the fourth quarter was just him doing putbacks. I'm not saying his name.
It would be crazy if there was like a David Duke Linsanity like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like can you imagine the headlines? Like, what's that one really famous racist headline with Linsanity?
We're not gonna say it. Yeah, I know.
We know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So like they would go crazy with that.
The New York Post learning that David Duke was going off would be like a holiday in the headquarters.
Well, Jack, I know Will probably heard this, but Parm did discover a famous person already had this name. By the way, David Carr, the quarterback. Jack.
Yeah,
his middle name is Duke.
His name
is David Duke Carr. It's on his Wikipedia.
They named that on purpose.
Yeah, we figured it out. We figured out that that he was definitely famous by the point that he was born. Like David Duke was famous.
That's why Gordon Hayward's son is named David Duke Hayward.
Shirley, you missed Thibault missing a dunk. I know it would have made you so happy.
I'm watching right now. Okay. All right.
Okay. Unironically, I think Yuta Watanabe could be like an NBA player. Like I will never associate Yuta Watanabe with playing in the NBA. I will always just say Yuta Watanabe on my wrist.
Kanye
has ruined that man for me.
Well, Kanye is never mind.
Yeah. Let's not talk about Kanye, all right? We talked about David Duke already.
It's arrived. The Sumner Cam Thomas ISO show. It's finally here.
Did you see that former Yankees and Mets slugger Robinson Cano was there today?
At this game?
At the Kanye thing?
What is everyone talking about with Kanye?
Oh, did you not know?
What did he do?
Oh, wait, you didn't see
Kanye did a Yeezy fashion show where all the models had T-shirts on that said "White Lives Matter."
He's so lame.
One of them being Robinson Cano.
Why was Robinson Cano?
Yeah, he was playing minor leagues for somebody.
What?
Like he played in he's had a sad year.
When did Kanye become a Reddit cringe poster?
Oh, he's been like this for a while, I thought.
Yeah, but like this is incredibly uncreative. Like not even like
speaking unrelated.
Not even getting people mad.
Someone also there.
Did you see the picture from the Phoenix Suns kicks cam?
No.
No, I don't know.
You know when they show like cool sneakers on the Jumbotron? Yeah. It was just like a woman in sparkly flats. Like they're just putting women's feet on the Jumbotron in Phoenix.
You know, Robert Sarver sold the team to Dan Schneider.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Quentin Tarantino sitting courtside at Phoenix Suns games.
That's how they're going to sell for $4.4 billion. They'll just attract all the famous foot fetishists.
The Phoenix feet.
Phoenix. Yeah, they could spell it with a PH,
There
so
we
it's
go.
like it's not a foot fetish.
Charming.
It's a completely different thing.
Exactly.
Okay. R.I.P. Robert Sarver.
I appreciate the Suns because now people don't think of the Nets as like the worst vibes team. Like it's gonna help with their PR. Like if the Nets can have a boring like 8-4 start and the Suns are a shit show, like people will shut up about the Nets, which is what I want.
Well, the Nets did just get outplayed by the Sixers in the first half with
preseason is for losers. So you know,
guys were trying like it was Game 7 of the finals. So I just want to throw that out there.
I think this is a lot of. I think you're putting a lot of stock into they were celebrating May 3, and so
all I'm saying is I saw Ben Simmons transition behind the back passes on the NBA TV halftime, which is kind of pathetic because Maxey scored 20 points in the first half and they didn't show one highlight of him.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Maxey was the best player on the floor.
What's the worst vibes team of the last 10 years?
I would say 2013 Lakers.
No, it's got to be
maybe last year's Nets
team. It's got to be the
maybe last year's Nets are up there. But did they hate each other?
I'm thinking the last Clippers team, the last CP Blake DeAndre year had awful
when they got
vibes.
Smoked
terrible vibes.
When they got smoked by Utah in Game 7 at home.
Who is it? The Kings though had that Rudy Gay quote where someone got traded.
Basketball hell.
Yeah, and he's like, "Welcome." That's the first thing
George
I heard
Karl became coach.
Was "Welcome to Basketball Hell" by Rudy Gay.
Oh, that's where that's from.
Upon being traded to Sacramento.
It was George Karl becoming coach, and Rudy Gay said that to him.
Yeah.
I know that because when you go to the Kings subreddit, because that's the thing I've done enough times to remember this, it says "Welcome to Basketball Hell."
Still accurate. I think it's going to be really funny if the Kings don't make the play-in this year. I've decided. At first, I was like, I'm rooting for them, but now I've decided they should just not. They should be like the 12th seed.
Somebody put it like this: like the teams behind them, like the OKC, Spurs, Rockets, and then who's the fourth really bad team in the West? Yeah, like those teams are like gonna try to lose a lot.
Yeah,
and then that puts them at 11. So then they just need one team to be a dumpster fire.
They just need the Lakers or the Blazers or
those are the most likely to. But like somebody is going to be a dumpster fire, and like they're too good to be worse than those other 4 teams, unless Jalen Green has this insane. I'm pretty low.
Well, who was the 10? Who was the 10 seed last year?
Michael Porter Jr. is going to demand a trade to the Magic so that he can live in a free state.
That's a bad contract. I can't believe we didn't say MPJ. That's a terrible contract.
MPJ might be the worst contract. Please look up MPG's stats. I posted or I talked about this on the last pod, but the man had one good season and has averaged like 11 points a game.
Yeah,
and it was like Point USA would have a field day with Jonathan Isaac and Michael Porter on the same team. That's the
if they were like normal players and like not injured constantly, like they would be like an awesome fit.
Wait, I'm sorry, Michael.
Podcast together.
But yeah, Porter is on a max. It's insane. And
he's 5
like
max
19 a game.
He
was crazy. Year. Like it's all based on like 20 games. Like after Murray got hurt, he was
incredible.
Yeah. But that's like you can't give a guy like the Sixers did this that worked out really well. You can't give a guy a max off like 20 something
half a
games.
season. Yeah.
Especially with chronic back problems in his early 20s.
Yeah, at least Tobias will play the games. Like Michael Porter Jr. might never play a full season. Well, definitely is never going to play a full season.
And his defense sucks.
His defense is trash, and he has back issues, which is like the number one thing for your mobility other than your knees. And he also might have bad knees.
Super Bowl with one spine bone. It's just one bone that goes vertically top to bottom in his back.
Yeah.
Like a fish.
Speaking of, Patrick Baldwin Jr., your boy Parm, went off the other day, apparently. Hit 4 threes.
He's going to get so much hype because he's on the Warriors.
I saw this. This was a really tragic day. That was a really tragic day for me because Mac McClung also got cut from the Warriors that very same day for Ty Jerome.
Georgetown back. Oh, Ty Jerome is because I saw that the Warriors gave him like a training camp deal or whatever. But going back for months now, he's been my pick to be the Heat's white guy shooter bullshit dude who like suddenly is really good. Yeah, like I was like, he had a bad year. He'll probably get waived or like be available for nothing. So that has been my pick, and I think he can't make the Warriors team because I need the Heat to sign him so I can be validated, and he can be that guy.
Ben Simmons is a game worse -10. I was told I was not paying attention because we were riffing about some shit, but someone said that Ben apparently earlier Ben got pulled and the Nets went on a 13-0 run. Which is great. Which is awesome. This is so cool. I respect it.
I think that it's gonna. I just can't believe they don't have a center who can shoot threes. Like it's the most obvious need ever, and they just
Miles Turner. You should get and Miles Turner can like kind of shoot threes. He's not even that good at shooting threes.
The NBA nerds love to be like, well, Turner's not even a good shooter. 33. Like the dunk.
He's
Nate
good
Duncan
for a center.
But like I think the thing with Turner is that his like defense is all like people overthink it. Amazing. His defense is really good. And even if he's like a top 10
defender, is always really funny.
Even if his percentage isn't good, like he'll stand in the corner for like possession after possession. Like whereas Claxton isn't gonna fucking do that.
I'm sorry, but please look at the comment somebody just left.
Okay, people like so stupid.
My aunt was Ben's realtor when he dated Tynesha and Tinashe. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. Everyone knows that listens to this. I'm drunk. First off, and second off, everyone knows that listens to this. I can't pronounce anything. I'm like Bill Simmons, and she said he'd smoke blunts in the apartments that they were viewing. King. So why do you want me to respect Ben Simmons? Why would you say things like this? I don't want to think Ben is cool. Yeah. That's some pimp shit.
I hope Joe Harris doesn't suck.
Wait, it's really Tinashe? Her name is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a singer, right?
So she dated Ben.
I remember her vaguely. She was
I know Ben dated famous people.
One of the best Ben stories is she was sitting in like the third row of the stands.
So
and
is
some
she
guy
in 6'9",
yelled
6'9"? Okay, sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Some guy yelled down at her, "What's wrong? Ben doesn't want you courtside," and she left the game.
That's actually stop making me like Ben. That's cool. These are all cool things. I know who she is.
Bill Simmons speech dyslexia.
I said that. I literally just said that about myself. How can you take credit for my joke?
No, somebody. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ben, unlike KD, has dated famous people. Everyone thought KD was the father of Lana Rhoades' child, but it turns out we saw a picture and it's Blake Griffin.
KD is just like such an incel. Like I'm like I don't understand how or why.
KD isn't an incel. He's volcel. There's a crucial difference.
What's that?
But like I don't know what that is.
Voluntary celibate. So it's like
that's true.
Like KD could have women.
Right.
Like KD is like Tibbs. Where like they just don't have the time.
Well, let's not get into that.
I saw there was
he's addicted to the grind.
I'm in. There's a lot of bits about the reason Durant wanted Nash fired and doesn't respect Nash is that Nash isn't committed to the game because he loves his wife too much. Because there's lots of bits about Nash's wife because she's a good chunk younger than him, and but she also looks really young for her age.
Yeah. Okay. So no. Hold on. I need. Hold on. I need a sidebar here because the first few times I saw the TikToks going viral of Nash with the woman in the videos, I thought that was his daughter. She looks like she's like 19.
Yeah. She's like. I looked it up once. I forget off the top of my head. Like she's like a little bit younger than him, like maybe like 8-10 years, but she just looks crazy young. And people thought
like
it was
40.
his daughter.
Yeah.
Leela Frederick. I'm looking her up. I'm seeing if
she might be younger than that. But it wasn't like Jerry Seinfeld or anything. Like,
it wasn't like immoral, illegal level of
or Leonardo DiCaprio would be a better like.
Let's see. Well, this is when she played college volleyball. So let's see what year this article is from, and we can use that to guess her age.
We'll do some math here. Yeah, this isn't.
So she was in She was in college in 2013.
Oh, that's
what?
Like, so she's like at most like.
So
31.
she's my age. She's younger than me. Because I graduated college in 2012.
That means she's like 31 at most.
Yeah, I mean, she would be 31. I mean, unless she went back to college.
It is crazy to look. It is crazy to look around at people my age and be like, "Wow, they're already marrying Steve Nash."
That's my favorite quote of the night.
That was so good. That's amazing. He's one of the best shooters of all time.
Yeah, Nash did have some crazy true shootings. He had like 65, 66 true shooting in like 2007.
Hot take, Nash is the second best shooter of all time. Like from a shooting
like from
actual
everything
standpoint. Not like I stand in a corner and I'm Klay Thompson and I shoot 11 or come off a screen and I'm JJ Redick. Like Nash could shoot off the dribble. Nash could shoot off of screens. Nash. It's like Nash, Ray Allen, and Steph are like the three best shooters of all time.
I'm a Klay hater historically.
I'm not a Klay hater. I think that Klay is very important. I think Klay is overrated, but I also think that finding a guy who can play defense as good as Klay was on the ball and shoot at the same level that Klay could is extremely valuable.
I just was like, because I think this year showed like the notion
Draymond's
that Klay was like above Draymond.
No, it's a ridiculous thing. Draymond is very obviously the second best player.
Klay, and somebody, my friend saying Klay is a fake good shooter, all caps. His true shooting is always like a tick above league average, like in his prime. It's like his like overall, like he takes a lot of dumb twos that he's not good at. And his defense was definitely good, but I don't think it was like the all defense level that it was made out to be. Like, it was all Draymond. Like they had the best defense in the league without him this year. Like,
no, but I think the thing with Klay is that the difficulty of Klay's looks, even with Steph, were pretty. Like he was shooting a lot of like he was one of the best movement shooters in the NBA every single year, and like even JJ Redick having that skill level of just being able to be a good movement shooter makes you a valuable NBA player. Then add good on ball defense, not amazing on ball defense, but good on ball defense. He was bad off the ball, but in the Warrior system, when you had Draymond to clean up all the messes, it doesn't really matter. Like he was in the perfect context for him, for sure.
Yeah, like this notion, like, oh, he could have been better if he wanted, if he wanted to be a number one option. He would have been way worse. It would have been worse. Yeah, somebody said, oh, he gets no free throws. That's why his true shooting is so low. Like, if you want to dribble, if you want to be considered like the way he was so mad, he was not considered one of the 75 best players ever. Like that's
insane. He's not.
That was ridiculous that he was even considered.
There are 5 guys I would put over. There are 5 guys I can name off the top of my head that didn't make that list that should have made that. Dwight Howard, Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, Paul George. They've all had better careers than Klay Thompson.
Jokic too.
Like
I am of the belief that
Jokic made the list though, didn't he?
He did.
Did he?
I didn't think he did.
Maybe he didn't. Well, Jokic.
I subscribe to the
Jokic
idea that Kyrie made it.
Jokic. Yeah, he probably did, and then they probably removed him.
The weird Google.
Either Jokic has had a way better career than Klay Thompson. Like, I mean, come on. Like, what are we talking about?
Klay has never had a single season where he was like a top 12 player.
Blake Griffin had a better career than Klay Thompson.
Easily.
Blake Griffin should have been on that list before Klay Thompson. Like, there's so many guys that should have been on that list before Klay Thompson that you would even bring that up as like a gripe. Like, people are ridiculous.
7 of the 20 best offenses of all time, Steve Nash. Based. Nash, I think Nash is an underrated player all time.
All time? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's very, very good.
So,
he's extremely good.
This is what I want with Klay. I want him to get traded, but to only other major cities with a large water feature so that he can just like ride boats to games in other cities.
Chicago, he's going to the Bulls.
I want him to be in
the river.
Detroit, like for the Pistons, and he has to like take a pontoon boat
Canada?
from Windsor. Yeah, he goes from Windsor across.
I recently found out that Detroit and Canada, like there's like a bridge to Canada to Windsor. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Until like literally the last month. Yeah. It's south of Detroit, and it's like and also it has a population of over 100,000.
Yeah, it's one of Canada's like bigger metro areas in Ontario,
which is wild. Like, I didn't know that was located right next to Detroit. But then I remember there was like an episode of Shameless, where the main character, who's Frank Gallagher, who plays him, Willem Dafoe, yeah, or not Willem Dafoe. That's a different.
No,
Frank. Who's Frank? William H. Macy.
Mm-hmm.
William H. Macy ends up Willem Dafoe, the guy from Spider-Man, plays Frank Gallagher famously. He ends up in Windsor, and he's like across the river from Detroit. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot that is like a thing. Like, you can accidentally like go off on an exit there.
Oh yeah, like
and end up in Canada.
I spent time there in college, and like get like notifications on your phone when you're in Detroit. Like, your phone thinks you're in Canada, and you get like the weird like international feed, like text. It's stupid.
Yeah, you get a notification, and it's like Trudeau did blackface again.
When I was 19. We went to a casino in Windsor all the time. It was literally like right there.
Yeah, before like you could gamble in Michigan and shit.
Yeah, because that was it's more. I'm really not a huge sports bettor, like, because I would just like lose everything I have. But I do gamble in person. That's for fun.
You're a classy gambler.
No,
I just want him to have to like.
I'm stupid and have self-awareness. Also, the Niners look bad again, and they're 1-2. I put Monday Night Football on, and I wanted to say, like, Jimmy Garoppolo is like just Kirk Cousins with pretty privilege. Like, Kirk Cousins,
he's not even. Kirk Cousins is way better.
I don't even
think
Jimmy Garoppolo. Like Kirk Cousins, but I feel like everybody like dunks on Kirk Cousins all the time, and like Jimmy G, everyone's like, yeah, it's not that good, but like he does his job.
Jimmy G
really
sucks.
Well. Like, everybody like,
he sucks.
I don't get, like, he's bad, and he's just really hot.
He's
like that team is so good.
Italian privilege.
He's just like, I feel like people love to hate on Kirk Cousins. Like, I don't have very strong opinions about Kirk Cousins.
This year was Baker. I had no part of the Jimmy G promotion.
Oh, I'm a Daniel Jones hater. There's like so many Giants fans like to pretend he like might not suck. He sucks so hard. Like
I was saying Baker was the real deal. I was saying it just because he's kind of funny.
And he's worse than Baker.
I just think it's kind of funny that he's like just so excited. You know?
Yeah, Baker was awful yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
Hold on. Who is 55 on the Sixers? Why do I not know who this man is?
DeAndre Jordan is back.
Can someone in the comments tell me? I'm drunk and I can't figure out who this man is.
Isn't that Isaiah?
Isaiah Joe apparently Furkan Korkmaz is cooking. And also, Isaiah Joe has looked pretty good again tonight offensively. Haven't really been playing.
Is that Traveling Queen?
Oh, it's Champagny.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that guy.
He's on a regular team.
It's no, he's a two-way. He's a two-way. It's the brother, not Jewel. There's Justin Champagny and then there's Julian Champagny.
Yo, Justin Champagny for my real friends, Julian Champagny for my fake friends.
Oh, Korkmaz just scored.
I almost got a bottle of champagne tonight, to be honest, to celebrate me quitting my job. By the way, sign up for the Ball Patreon, plugging it for the first time an hour and 50 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody when
you first messaged me, you were like, do you want to be on this Patreon stream? And I was like, well, yeah, because I can't listen to it because I'm still not on the Patreon.
Because I have not signed up.
So
I
guess I have to be on it to be able to listen to it.
The only podcasts I listen to are The Low Post,
good one,
Ball.
I love it.
Asking for a Friend with Lauren Conrad. That's the whole list.
You listen to Lauren Conrad's podcast?
She hasn't updated it in 2 years, so I just listened to the old episodes.
I haven't seen Lauren Conrad since she was on the episode of Eric Andre. Where
she's having an exciting life. She has she really likes arts and crafts now.
Yeah. Oh, good for her.
She's also my girlfriend.
She doesn't know it yet, but
the Nets switched with the current lineup. What is their best defender onto Korkmaz? That's how much he's been cooking the last few.
That's amazing. Well, do you remember the famous picture that went viral of KD and Harden switching onto Korkmaz? They were both at the top of the key. Like,
no,
we can't let Korkmaz get into the paint.
Oh, I thought you meant the other way. Like the guy I always think of in terms of the Nets, like peak Nets bullying, is Fournier. Fournier on the Celtics that won when the Nets were actually like the one time the Nets actually played.
Yeah.
Like they literally every single possession, the three of them just took turns humiliating Evan Fournier.
Yeah, it was
Tristan
the Thompson and Evan Fournier.
Yeah, Thompson too, but Thompson didn't play as much.
Mm-hmm.
It was phenomenal theater. And like, I love to see the Celtics survive.
By the way, Jaden Springer sucks. I'm very sad. He's terrible. It's
the
really.
Sixers are up by 15. It was tied like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was before the first round Korkmaz experience.
Yeah, but I didn't realize the Nets were also not scoring every possession. I guess Cam Thomas is missing his 20-footer.
This has got to be the funniest combination of podcasts I've ever seen.
That's my friend.
That is actually basically my podcast.
For audio people, it said low post, ball, and calm down.
That's the guy who I make like all we do is shit on Bill Simmons.
Yeah,
and how much he hates his wife and kids, and how much they hate him.
I love that. Chapo is not. Yeah, no, it's literally ball. You mean the Adam Freeland show now? Yeah,
and asking for a friend with Lauren Conrad is right in there too.
We love it.
My dad is a huge listener of Trill's favorite Sixers podcast. Well, I guess it's not really a Sixers, but one of the hosts is a Sixers fan, theoretically. The Cookies Hoops basketball podcast.
He listens to Cookies, like unironically.
My dad, yes, and goes back and forth with both of them on Twitter all the time.
That's so funny. They
I
both
sometimes listen to them. Listen to them because my dad subscribes to the Patreon, so I have access to their episodes early on.
That's amazing.
And they just have gone completely off the rails. Every episode's like 2 hours, and there's maybe like 10 minutes of basketball.
I can't imagine doing a podcast for 2 hours as we approach.
No, it's way worse than this. Like in terms of percentage about that,
I heard the most recent time Ben Dietrich said that Ramona was hating on Ben, even though it was very obvious that she was shilling for Ben on the low post.
For those of you who aren't familiar with these people, they are convinced.
Everyone knows who the Cookie Hoops are.
Ben Simmons,
nobody
top 5 player,
to this
MVP
who isn't
candidate.
aware of Cookies.
Yeah, everyone knows Ben and well. Okay, so here's the thing. Ben. I don't know them as people. I have mutual friends with them, and I've heard that they're cool.
I can't. Every time I hear about him, I think about how Ty was on his deathbed listening to the Cookies Hoops James Harden trade update. He had a brain hemorrhage. He's in the hospital listening to Cookies Hoops,
which is a very appropriate soundtrack. That's actually their target audience.
Guys, damn, Trill's drunk and hating. Trill is starting drama.
I'm not hating. Look, here's the thing. I'm not starting drama. They're actually their podcast is very good from an entertainment standpoint. I think they know nothing about basketball, but I think that their podcasting
they got some
skills,
weird takes.
No, I just think that they have very New York guy takes. They have very I'm the smartest guy in the room type takes.
You need those?
I hate that Quo always talks down to Philly people. Like, you literally like Andrew Yang, dude. Like, shut the fuck up.
Do you want New York take?
Do you?
Oh, I know New York takes. I think that What's that?
Do you need some?
I lived in New York for 4 years. I know every smarmy fuck who's ever talked about basketball from New York.
Korkmaz. Oh wait, no, was that Korkmaz again? I don't know.
The Yankees haven't had someone who loves the game as much as Mark Teixeira in 10 years. Not a single person who wants to hustle out of ground balls from Francisco Cervelli.
Hey, yo.
Cam Thomas sucks. Like,
what is Cam Thomas?
Terrible. He just all he does is take those awful 19-footers and he misses most of it. But the thing I love about the Nets with ball don't stop, because I think ball don't stop is a social experiment.
Yeah,
he's conceited. He's like, okay, they need a little bit of a system, and then Katie and Kyrie can close with the ISO got. But then when he describes what they do to make this system, it's play Cam Thomas more and sign Carmelo.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like what the fuck is the system?
System is the thing that people love to say, and it doesn't make any sense. Also, Jaden Springer is literally horrible. He just fucking smoked the layup while he was
better than Cam Thomas.
He just blew by his guy, and smoked a fucking layup in a horrible fashion. Oh,
yeah, he
God.
sucked. But wasn't he just like? Wasn't the whole thing when he got drafted like, yeah, he sucks, but he's like 17, so he might be good.
Yeah, so he was like, hold on. I liked him because I liked his defensive profile, and he was a very good defender in college, and he's super athletic, but he can't shoot, he can't create, he's like an okay passer. He really is like he has moments and flashes where you're like, wow, he looks really good, but most of them come in the open court, which is a very bad sign. He can't do anything
Simmons.
in the half court. He can't shoot off the catch. Like, I'm fully out on Jaden Springer, which is wild because he's only 20. But, like, he just never has shown anything at the NBA level that makes me believe. Like, I hung on for a year. I was like, I'll give him his rookie year. I'll give him summer league. I'll give him one more. He's just not a guy. Like, he's just not.
I feel like system is just a euphemism for dunking on anything analytics related. Like Ballstop hates the Jazz. And, like, I remember the Clippers beat the Jazz, and he was so excited. And it's like, I know Kawhi missed 2 games, but, like, they still have, like, Paul George is just much better than Gobert. And, like, the Jazz, like, overachieve their talent level every year, I would say, because of the way they play.
Because of their system.
Like,
but also
didn't have the talent to beat the best teams.
But I also think that system is overused because the system is only as good as the players that you plug into the system. Like, for example, the Jazz had, like, everyone always talks about the offensive load that Donovan Mitchell had, and I think that Donovan Mitchell is going to be really good for Cleveland. But, like, the Jazz had like 4 guys who could create
insane shooting.
Yeah, like what? Like, you had Bojan Bogdanovic, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Donovan Mitchell.
They were better with him on the.
You know, I'm a triangle guy, and the ultimate example of that is, like, of course the triangle worked. It was Michael Jordan and Scottie
It's the same thing as Coach Phil Jackson getting the most out of this play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lifting up the scrubs he had on his squad.
The scrubs.
My favorite's probably 7 seconds or less. Just because the entire philosophy is just dump it up there. Like, you just run it and dump it. Just dump it in the net as fast as you can.
Yeah. Oh, and you know,
like, which is the objective of every basketball possession, is just to try to score as fast as possible.
You know, I was shitting on Portland earlier, and I'm a little less drunk, but this one I feel more strongly about. The team I also am going to shit on all year, Atlanta. DeJounte Murray is like
Atlanta stinks.
Very good.
I think Atlanta's a playing team.
They're going to be like the 9 seed, and they traded all those fucking picks. What the hell is DeJounte going to do when Trey has the ball? Like, and the rest, like DeAndre Hunter, I gave up.
Trey Young,
like 26
basketball.
Yeah, the only reason people
from Trident Gum.
The only reason I wanted DeAndre Hunter to be good was because Dean on Draft said that he was a bust after 1/2 of Summer League. And I was like, damn, I really want this guy to be good. And
true. You know, a guy you like who people called a bust after a game in Summer League, Franz. Franz sucked in Summer League. Yeah, people said he was a bust.
Summer League, you can't take too much from just Summer League. Like, Jabari looked good last night, and he was bad in Summer League. I like to make fun of Jabari, but, like...
Yeah, I fucking hate Jabari.
He's going to be good. I mean, like...
I switched. I went and watched his game. I didn't realize how little he could dribble. I thought he could dribble a little bit, and he cannot dribble at all.
No, he's Clay. He's basically big Clay. Like, that's his ceiling.
In the next Sixers game?
Oh, they're back up. They just didn't come back.
I don't
down
see anything.
Court. Bassey, like, just fell.
Oh, is that Daron Sharp, maybe? Daron Sharp looks like
we can't lose Charles Bassey. That's our fifth center.
I thought Bassey or Joe is who they're cutting. One of those two.
Sorry, I'm being summoned to our Discord because I have to ban someone. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Delightful. What a treat.
I get scared of Discord.
Guess who it is?
They're gonna turn me into a cat boy.
I'm only active in one Discord server, and it's just a Nets podcast server that is just like 30 sickos, and we just argue about the same 12 things
I will say shout out to the Ball Discord, because I had like a pretty heavy mental breakdown on Twitter once, and a lot of guys from there reached out to like make sure I was doing all right. So like positive community.
They're good. They're good people, except for one guy that's
except
in there.
the guy who just got banned apparently.
No, he's probably in
my
the comments
burner.
watching this.
That's awesome. Wait, he paid to get banned?
Well, he pays for the Patreon, but he's not allowed in the Discord. So
This guy
he knows.
that guy
knows the rules.
rocks. I'm sorry. It's
He
the one
knows
that
it's
made
a troll.
Discord.
I'm
DM
not.
today,
I'm not.
assuming,
You know
right?
what I want to say, and I'm not going to say it. But I want you to know that we both know what I want to say.
Telepathically.
Is it the guy
shut up,
who's?
man.
No,
Never mind.
it's not that. No, it's not. It's not who you think it is. It's not.
Okay.
They're not famous. They're only known in the
Gotcha.
Discord.
Oh, okay.
Famous. Are there any famous
Infamous.
Uniball Discord members who are?
Yeah,
famous
there's
there
one
are.
guy.
outside
There's
the
one guy
Uniball
who
universe?
literally kamikazed the last fucking.
And there's
Uniball
no
Discord.
one who might have been talking to Sixers and Six podcast.
No, it's a different person.
Sad.
Yeah, exactly.
He should pay you.
Shoot.
He should pay me a regular basis for the. He should pay for my therapy.
Yeah, he should be paying for the Patreon. Certainly. He owes you.
He knows the vibes. All right.
Was that
True. What are you drinking?
Corona.
Yeah. Springer's got
I poured it
blocked
into
at
here.
the
Corona.
drinking-
I'm telling you, Springer fucking stinks, dude.
Protein shake dispenser.
He got stuffed
Why are
by
you
Thunder.
drinking Corona out of a Tupperware container?
I don't know. I poured it in here and was like, "Yeah." Did you think I was drinking piss? Like,
No, I thought you were drinking like a smoothie and a beer at the
Yeah.
same time.
you know, Springer is not an NBA player. It's a very
No.
sad realization.
I still think
here.
Joe is. I still believe in Joe. I want
Joe might be an NBA player.
Shine.
Joe is in Joe Jonas. His comment says Joe Jonas is in the Uniball Discord on a burner.
All the famous Uniball Discorders.
We had one famous person in the old Uniball Discord, but they didn't ever talk in there. But they're not really famous. I mean,
It took. By the way, speaking of,
that's
Paul
not even
Reed
true.
opened
Jeremy's
DMs.
famous.
Talking about Sam Sheehan, NBA.
No, do you know Marion Hill? The group Marion Hill. They had that song "Down" that was really popular like 5 or 6 years ago. Like Jeremy himself is not famous, but like his band is famous. They have
There's
a
a
massive song that has like millions of plays. But yes, he's a big Sixers fan, and he was in there, but he never talked in there. He was just in there.
Huh? They're still going. I forgot about that band.
Marion Hill. They're from
band.
they grew up in Lower Marion, and I'm assuming Drexel Hill because they're from the Philly area. Jeremy's very cool. I've talked to him a few times. Very nice guy. But they had a song that came out last year with Young Baby Tate that was actually really good. But what?
The comment, I need to upgrade to a higher Patreon tier so Trill can afford a real glass.
Oh, you guys didn't even see my phone screen. Hold on. My phone screen is smashed in 7 pieces. Hold on. Do you see this?
Jeez.
Oh, look at you. Top notifications blowing up. We get it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Content creator, Trill Bro, dude.
15K. My only tweets that get attention are when Trill quote tweets my nonsense. Like that Scotty Barnes and Franz Wagner have played more NBA minutes than Udonis Haslem over the last 8 seasons when they were in the 6th grade.
Actually incredible. That was a great stat.
Udonis Haslem is such a bum. I hope he gets waived. I hope something bad happens.
He just begs for us to make fun of him. He's just like, I'm not no charity case. I'm here to get better.
I will love when Jimmy Butler tried to fight Eric Spoelstra forever, because that clip of Spoelstra's face where he's like, do you want me to fucking fight you? Is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like Jimmy Butler is trying to fight his coach, and the coach.
That was actually really funny. That's why they have Haslam on the team still.
Yeah.
They still have Haslam on the team to protect him.
Is Lowry going to be cooked? Because Lowry was really cooked in the playoffs. That's so like they were better with Gabe.
He was injured though. I mean, like,
was he? But like he wasn't that good in the regular season either, and he's another year. What was it, like 37? He's old.
Lowry and Harden are both bouncing back this year, I believe.
But Lowry didn't get fat last year.
And
like,
also, Lowry is what 30?
It's like older.
He's
kind of
like
37 even. Yeah,
he might even
small.
be 37.
Harden is big,
and he's 33. Like he's not like that old. Like he's
Kyle Lowry is not much younger than PJ Tucker,
who's so old. Like
they probably, I think they were the same draft actually.
Hold on,
aren't the Sixers picking Tucker?
No, Kyle Lowry was like 06 draft.
No, that's what I'm saying. Aren't him and PJ both 2006?
Yeah. They were.
Kyle Lowry is Pisces. That's disappointing.
He's 36. He'll be 37 during the season next year.
The only pro
2006
Raptors
draft is one of my favorites. Has maybe a top 5.
Because that's the Bargnani draft, right?
That's the Bargnani draft. Go Adam Morrison.
Yeah, like,
a guy who made it to the NBA off of being smelly. That was like his secret skill.
I mean, wasn't he actually very in Gonzaga? Wasn't
he was, but that was like his way to play defense. Is he just smelled bad? He would just be smelly and then show up at an NBA game and be like, "Hey, you don't want to guard me or be guarded by me because I'm smelly." And he proceeded to do that for like 2 weeks until the Knicks
traded a top 10
told
pick.
him he had to take a shower.
The Knicks traded a top 10 pick for Bargnani. It only became Jakob Poeltl, so it's not that bad. But
wait, really? The pick that was Jakob Poeltl was for? I didn't realize that was the connection.
Right? It's got to be because he was a top 10 pick, and the Raptors were good that year. I'm like 80% sure.
So that was what 2015, 16.
Is that Knicks traded their first for Bargnani.
Yeah,
and it's got because the Raptors were good, and so the Knicks traded the asset to get Kawhi for Bargnani.
Yeah, it was really bad, really bad.
Somebody's hurt. Who's number 9 on the Sixers?
Queen.
I think he's
Trevelin Queen.
Yeah, he just got hurt.
Yeah, it's because he's 140 pounds and 6'6" or whatever.
Oh, he landed on his head.
I think he's fine. I think he just banged his head really hard.
I saw Nerlens do that once in person. It was not fun to watch. He just like landed on his head.
Good thing you got a $300,000 guarantee.
$300,000. Totally,
it's not nothing to go to training camp. All I have to have is a single head injury, and I get $300,000.
Well, I make $800,000 a year, so I can't relate. But I'm built different, so.
God.
Off of my true crime.
I was gonna say if you made $800,000 a year, you would not be on this podcast.
I have a true crime show under a pseudonym.
What is it? Bipolar Haver?
I literally said that slowly to come up with like a funny name for a pun. Just I had nothing.
The bipolar podcast is the Bill Simmons podcast.
Oh, I love Bill Simmons. I'm really mad. I left my copy of the book of basketball at my old house, so I need to buy a new one because I can't live without it.
I can never decide if I like Bill ironically or not.
No, Bill rocks.
I genuinely look forward to the new episodes, but it's mostly to laugh at how ridiculous he is.
No, so Bill's king.
I got into basketball because I saw a GIF of Carmelo Anthony on Tumblr, and I thought it looked cool. So I bought the book of basketball to learn about basketball.
That rocks.
So I view basketball exclusively through the lens of Bill Simmons.
Makes sense. That's why you like my podcast.
It's all just body language nonsense. So like Grant Williams,
body language
toxic.
nonsense. It's like vibes. I
And then
have
a
not
guy-
listened.
that when you make a top 5 list and it's like at least 20 people, it's always got to be that.
I do need to know, is it pipemen? What does Bill Simmons call guys that lay pipe? He has like a phrase he always uses. Stick man. I need to know if Bill Simmons thinks Ime Udoka is a stick man.
What is a stick man? I don't get. What is it?
No, have you like not look up Bill Simmons stick man? He uses that phrase constantly.
What does it mean? I've never heard it on anything.
Oh, I guess it was more. He used it more on Grantland. It's like to describe actors who like lay pipe. He would call them.
Yeah, it's probably
man.
probably a little problematic.
Prince is a legendary stick man.
Yeah, the top. Yeah, and then it says Leonardo DiCaprio is a world-class stick man. It's just.
No, that's what it is. He said Burgess Meredith was a world-class stick man. That's a direct quote from Bill Simmons.
The Bill Simmons subreddit is truly fantastic. The top comment here is just Ben Franklin is a glaring omission. All-time stick man. Put in work on 2 continents. It's just this is a rough. This is
famous for having syphilis, by the way.
These people need to touch grass really badly.
No, guys who have run the Bill Simmons subreddit are like Socrates. They're the gadflies on society. God, Bill Simmons subreddit posters are the bravest, proudest people in America. It's just Patton Oswalt and Big Fan, but like blown up to 1 million.
Bill Simmons, by the way, before we get out of here, because I'm going to wrap this up soon. Bill Simmons called Philadelphia the new Boston on his new podcast.
I love it. He's going to jinx it and ruin it.
What does that mean?
It's technically true. Wasn't Philadelphia founded like 20 years after Boston? Technically, that's a reasonable assumption.
We're about to get exponentially more racist, is what he's trying to say.
Oh, good luck.
But in all seriousness, I think he was talking about because he thinks that the Eagles are going to be really good for a while and that the Sixers are going to be really good this year. But I don't think he was trying to jinx us. I think he was trying to plug Ben Solak and Sheil Kapadia's new podcast, which is very good, and everyone should listen to it if you're a Philly fan. But like, I think that it was a bit more of like an advertisement for that, if anything else.
I just like that would suck so much. Like the first 20 years of my life are just Boston dominance, and then the next 20, like I would quit being a sports fan at that point. It would be too shitty.
They won so much.
I couldn't handle it.
I mean, the Celtics might still be in that. Like,
because I was born
in
2000. I was born in 2000, so it's just literally my whole life. Because 01 is the first. Like, I don't remember that, but like literally as long as I can remember, it's just Boston dominating at fucking everything.
That's actually really funny. Wow, I never thought of it.
It's depressing as hell. Like, I need them to suck so badly.
Did Boston get good because the Patriot Act was signed?
That was the point that started it all.
Actually, I believe that the Patriots had already won 2 Super Bowls by the time the Patriot Act was signed. But let's not it's a good bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's not
I tried.
Wait, but
actually, you know what? No, it would have been around the same time.
It would have only been one because wasn't it signed really quickly after?
Yeah, it was a few months. I've heard older people justify it. Yeah,
they didn't win till what? January 2002 was the first time they won.
Yeah. It was the first.
The Celtics
and people literally,
yet.
People tried to like basically say like the Patriots. Of course, the Patriots would win the Super Bowl after 9/11.
Yeah, because then the Celtics
they rammed a plane into the World Trade Center. The Rams could win.
The Celtics were supposed to be bad, and they made the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the New Jersey Nets.
Yeah, but then they got crushed by the Spurs or the Lakers in the finals.
That was the Lakers year.
Yeah.
No, the Spurs series was competitive because that Spurs team sucked. It was just Tim Duncan and a bunch of scrubs.
But they got swept. Or they won
that series
one.
Went 6. That series went 6. It was
2-2.
It was 2-2, and game spot. That was a very competitive series.
I don't even remember that. I remember watching it when I was a kid, but yeah.
The Kobe Shaq one was a joke. Like it was like a humiliation. But the Spurs one was like legitimately very competitive.
Yeah.
Because they just messed up because they needed Richard Jefferson to be like the top scoring option, but they were good his first 2 years in the league. So he just like wasn't ready. Like they needed Richard Jefferson to be 2 years older and they would have beat the Spurs.
Hold on, is Daniel House playing for the Sixers?
No way.
I thought he was out. Yeah, he's playing. I thought he was out. He just.
I thought I read that too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's playing. He's in. He missed a corner 3 that was actually a good pass by Springer after I said he was fucking terrible. He's had a few good passes, but like that's such a worthless skill if you can't shoot or create. Like who cares?
So
damn, imagine the Sixers investing a lot of money in a guy who can pass but can't shoot.
It's the Sixers. Yeah. Oh, did you say the Sixers?
Yeah.
Oh, I know you guys like Fultz. You know, the relationship isn't nearly as toxic. But like, why do people think he's gonna be this like stud play? Like, he's not very good. Like, he's okay.
No, he's not gonna be now. It's about what he could have been.
No, I know. Like before. No, I mean like now. Like, there's like a on NBA Nerd Twitter has like a subsection. People think Fultz is like breakout. He's like not good. He's passable.
I mean, it's just hard to be a really good NBA guard without the ability to shoot. Like,
and he's not that athletic. Like he's a good defender. He's a decent passer.
No, but you need
he's a rotation guard.
6'3", 7 foot wingspan.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got that Taylor Horton Tucker build.
Like the thing about Fultz was that his jump shot was so high he could shoot over people even though he was only 6'3".
But he can't shoot at all anymore. So like he sucks. Yeah. I'm actually Orlando Magic pilled. It's my biggest sicko take that they're going to be like a top 5 defense.
So who's the other guard?
Suggs is a great defender. The offense will be awful, but the defense will be sick.
He was
like
kind of
Franz
and went all last year. I don't know.
Franz and Wendell are great defensively.
Hooked Gary Harris. Rest in peace.
He got hurt or something. But it'll be the startings. I assume we Suggs, Fultz, Franz, Paolo,
Cole Anthony.
Wendell.
Then I guess.
Oh, we're being told it was not Daniel House. It was Michael Foster.
Yeah, there's no way it was Daniel House.
Oh, okay. I saw Junior on the back of 35. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm drunk.
And Chioda is the lead ball.
Orlando Magic right now losing to the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's pretty.
The Grizzlies are going to be frauds. The Grizzlies will be like a play-in team or like the 6th seed.
You hate big boys. That's fine.
By the way,
you're making a little big noise. That's
I love Jaren Jackson Jr. and I hate Ja relative to the masses.
It's all about big beefy boys.
Hold on. You love Jaren Jackson Jr. and you hate Ja? That's your take?
Well, no, I just mean like I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is underrated and Ja's overrated.
I think if Jaren Jackson Jr. can learn to not foul fucking 12 times a game somehow, then he'll be
much.
NBA player.
Like he'd be like the best defensive player in the league.
Please look at the last comment I just dropped on the YouTube. It's a great tweet. Yeah,
from Quo.
from Andrew Quo.
By the way, Philly
Simmons had 6-5-4 in his first game back. Pretty good.
Wait,
literally. I swear to God. Amazing brain over there.
Yeah, that's like per 36. That's like what, like 10, 8, and 7.
There we go.
Like
he's
that's
back.
Probably what
he's back, folks. Ben Simmons, baby, to the moon.
Yo, Ben Simmons, 10-10 out of bed. That's what everyone said Ben Simmons was going to be.
Rondo. That's like tall Rondo, I guess.
Exactly. With less assists. All right. I think it's time to get out of here. This game's almost over. We had a good run.
I'm getting
it is a Monday night. I was going to say, it was a Monday night. Thank you for joining me, boys.
Absolutely.
Take care. I'm a little too drunk for a Monday night. Yeah, subscribe to the Patreon. Thank you. Keep it so that I don't lose my house and I can get a new phone.
Really quickly, subscribe to the You Know Ball Patreon. Subscribe to the Lauren Conrad podcast. And follow me on twitter.com at Fiona. It'll just look up Fiona Apple next to it.
I have the least followers group by far. I need them the most.
Disgusting. Will, you want to plug your handle? Will Nets?
Oh, I think it's literally Will Nets. I made it when I was like in the 8th grade, and I think you can change it, but I don't know what to change it to. I don't have a creative thing yet.
Is it just Will_Nets or is it just Will Nets?
I think so. I think it's Will_Nets.
Will_Nets. Okay.
My bio is yelling about New York sports radio because I think it's the funniest thing that's ever existed.
Okay, it's not Will_. No, it is Will_Nets. Okay, so follow Will at Will_Nets. Take care.
See you guys.
Peace.